You are a gamer, and your adventures are legendary. You rescued the princess from Bowser, unraveled religious conspiracies, and made your mark on Azeroth. You've conquered Seth, explored the wasteland, and survived the Cold War. You're ready for the next challenge, and there's only one place you'll find it: E3. This is the place where the impossible becomes reality and the future of gaming comes alive. E3 is the place where you discover what's next and what quests lay ahead. Strap in, because it's going to be a hell of a ride. The future of gaming is happening right now, and you're in the center of it. From world premiere trailers to explosive hands-on demos, interviews with gaming visionaries, in-depth analysis of all the announcements, the latest tech, the just announced games. It's all here. Only one network can bring you inside the year's most anticipated entertainment event.
Who sent you?
This is G4, and we're ready to take you to the next level. Gaming's biggest show is about to begin.
Oh, that's looking like some fun.
It's time. Day 2 of G4's live coverage of E3 2011 starts right now.
Hello and welcome to G4's Live at E3 2011, presented by Burger King. Hi, Courtney Webb is joining me, Candace Bailey, Kevin Ferrer, and Adam Sessler. We are coming to you from the center of the biggest video game on the planet. Yes.
We're in a game?
Yes. Today we have got 3 hours of demos, trailers, interviews, and all the latest news. If it is at E3, we've got it.
And because we're the exclusive broadcast partner of E3, you will not see coverage like this anywhere else.
No.
They love exclusivity.
Today we're kicking off our show with a bang. We've got a 2-part hands-on demo of the highly anticipated Batman Arkham City. Plus, we'll demo an MMO that I'm actually excited about. Star Wars: The Old Republic.
And later, do not miss EA's revamp of their classic snowboarding franchise. We're going to go hands-on with SSX. It is just a fraction of what is coming up today.
Now, even though we spent $8.5 million on this stage,
Yep.
the lighting
Yes.
alone, we're not going to spend the whole day showing it off.
No, we have assembled the G4 Super Friends to cover all the games on the floor.
So here's what they'll be bringing you throughout the day.
From the running of the nerds to the ear-splitting sound effects of some of the hottest games at E3, it's music to my ears. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, what? It's my first time.
E3 is scorching. I'm here with the PlayStation Vita, the most powerful handheld ever created. This thing is incredible. You'll see this and so much more coming up. Noob! Kicking ass at E3 is just way too easy. Keep watching as I tear this place down. Get out of my way!
It's day 2 of E3. Stick around, I'll be back later with more exclusive updates from the show floor.
Such exciting new stuff at E3 this year. Look at this. TurboGrafx has a 16-bit game console. The graphics are stunning. Over here, Nintendo's Famicom box. Put all of your NES cartridges in one giant, really heavy unit. Of course, the Entertainment Rob system there on the Nintendo. Q*bert is a game that is taking the floor by storm, and then in 16-bit stunning graphics, Toe Jam and Earl for the Sega Genesis. Really exciting new stuff. This will probably be available Christmas of 2011. I'm Chris Hardwick. Also look out for my new show, Singled Out, coming out on MTV. Living the dream. Oh, look at that. Was that a ghost?
Thanks for the shameless plug, Hardwick. I will not miss Singled Out. I'm Kristen Adams, guardian of the Twitter wall. I'll be reading your E3 tweets all show long. And guess what? We're giving away prizes every hour. You guys better be tweeting. Where's your phones? Get them out. Start tweeting. They think I'm joking. I'm not. You could win an Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, Nintendo 3DS, or a GameFly subscription. For a chance to win, all you need to do is tweet about E3 and use the hashtag E3 on G4. It's that easy. Are they tweeting behind me? Are you tweeting? Hey, you're tweeting. I love it. These are my tweets. Let's send it over to Kevin and Morgan for the first demo of the day.
Pro tip, they weren't tweeting, they were taking awkward photos of you, Kristen. I'm sorry. That's all right. They're all over Twitter now, though, so they did tweet. I think it's time to get this show started proper by checking out a game that I think every self-respecting comic fan and every self-respecting gamer is dying to see.
Rocksteady is following up their smash hit Batman Arkham Asylum with another dark adventure starring the Caped Crusader. Let's go hands-on with Arkham City.
Please welcome Sefton Hill, game director at Rocksteady. He's here to show us what's next up for Dr. Batman. Hey, Sefton, how are you?
All right, so something that I am personally very excited about, Catwoman is in the game. Is she a villain? Is she a good guy? How does it, what's going on? Catwoman.
I mean, Catwoman was someone we were really excited to get in the game because you don't really never know whether she's a good guy or a bad guy. The golden rule with Catwoman is she's always looking out for number one. So that's the one thing you can guarantee on.
Okay, but how's she feeling about number two in this game? Is she trying to kill him, or is she trying to help him?
Well, I mean, I guess that's the big question with her is, basically the thing that she wants to get out of Arkham City is whenever any supervillain's captured, Hugo Strange takes their goods off of them and sticks them in a confiscated goods vault. So this for her is the ultimate score, because this is basically all of the goods that any supervillain's ever taken and in this one vault. So she's after that, and she's using the fact that Batman's distracted in Arkham City to take that, to basically break into this vault.
So she's got her own goal.
She's definitely
looking out for herself.
And so we're actually playing as Catwoman right here, so can you tell us a little bit about how she plays?
So Catwoman's great. We wanted to go with sort of a different fighting style to Batman, so you can see kind of how fluid she moves. She's faster than Batman.
She's dance fighting. That's almost capoeira. Capoeira,
that sort of style, but she's really dangerous as well. You know, she knows exactly the weak points to hit on any man.
Oh, jeez.
So she's got some great moves. She's also got all her own gadgets. So she's got bowlers, caltrops. She's got a whip she can use to trip people up, or she can use it to steal guns off people and disarm them. So she's got all her own moves. The way she moves around the city is totally unique as well. Like, she can crawl up the sides of buildings, she can hang on ceilings and move around. So she's totally her own fully featured character.
Will those moves give her access to areas that maybe Batman can't actually get to?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there are only a few areas in the world probably that Batman can't get to, but she can access those moves.
Now, how do we actually take control of Catwoman? Is this a character that we can activate at any time, or is it mission specific?
So the Catwoman story is kind of seamlessly interwoven with Batman's story. So you'll switch at key points, and you'll see as they switch through kind of how those stories interact. So a good example there is you saw Catwoman actually got captured by Two-Face as she was trying to rob from his vault. And a lot of the Catwoman story is actually about the interaction between those two characters. So those two have kind of a feuding vendetta that's going on. So basically, you saw Catwoman get captured. Where we are now with Batman on top of a rooftop overlooking a lot of Arkham City, one of the options he has here is actually to go and save Catwoman
Go and free her from Two-Face.
So the stories kind of interact and interweave like that as you play through. I mean, Catwoman, we're kind of calling her, I guess, our special guest star. So she basically is in, I would say, to take down all the supervillains in Arkham City, you're looking at around about 25 plus hours. So it's a big game. So Catwoman's in for about 10% of that, to give you an idea.
Okay. So the last game was sort of in this very claustrophobic asylum, and so now this is in this big world. I mean, how open is it? How much can you explore?
Yeah, I mean, the great thing, what we really wanted to get was to create an open world, really to create the most detailed open world that had ever been created. That was what it was all about for us, not just massive scale. We wanted something that was really dense with interesting things to do and places to go and see. So,
I mean, how do you define detail? Is it buildings that you can actually go into, people that you can interact with, missions that you can pick up as you're casually strolling around?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about things the player can do. That's what detail is for us. So it's seeing the influence of all the different supervillains on the world. It's taking on different challenges, side missions. You know, there's hours and hours and hours of side missions, and it's down to you when you want to take them on, what you want to do, going into different buildings. You know, there's so much in there that the player can do, but you know, it's just, that's what we wanted to create. You know, you had the kind of focused storyline of Arkham Asylum. You've still got that focused main storyline, but now with this option to break that up with all these side missions at the same time.
Right.
Now, so are we actually in Gotham, and Arkham is just sort of a reference to how it's being overrun by criminals?
So what's happened is Quincy Sharp, who's the mayor, has basically walled off an entire district of Gotham. So we are in Gotham, but it's like a walled-off district of Gotham that they've turned into a super prison, and that super prison's called Arkham City, basically.
Oh, sounds like a lovely place. I'd love to visit. And what about the actual villains here? Who are we fighting? Who are the primo villains this time out? I know Two-Face is in there, obviously.
Yeah, we got a load of great villains. We got Two-Face,
The
Penguin,
Riddler's there as well.
Riddler's there. You know, he's desperately out for revenge following you getting him captured, Batman capturing him at the end of the first game. You know, when anything bad is happening in Gotham, Joker's in there somewhere, right? Joker's got his finger in there somewhere. And the great thing about the villains is that there's so many, they've all got their own angle. They're all trying to do something different. So, you know, we've got Zaz in there. He's a serial killer. What is he going to be doing? Totally different to what Penguin's doing, totally different to what Joker's doing. The only thing standing in their way is you, is Batman.
All right. Now, you are going to stay right there, and we're going to learn a little bit about more about this game.
We've captured you now,
We need to
Stephanie.
take a break. We will see more of this game.
That's right. Coming up, part 2 of our live hands-on demo of Batman Arkham City. It's G4 live at E3 2011, and it's continuing right after this.
G4's live coverage of E3 2011 is brought to you by Burger King, home of the Whopper.
That's my slap bass. No big deal. I'm like going dynamite.
Promise, joining us once again is Stefan Hill to talk more Batman Arkham City.
All right, so Stefan, we're about to see a piece of the game that hasn't been shown before.
Yeah, we're going to show you a little bit of the medical center in the game. So they've taken over this disused church, and they've set up a kind of makeshift medical center there to kind of look after the inmates that are there. It's kind of something that Hugo Strange didn't want to do, but it was what one of the concessions he had to give to set up Arkham City the
And so
way it's set up.
is Batman on the hunt for some OxyContin, or what is he actually doing?
Kevin.
Well, I don't know. I'm just saying. For medicine.
Yeah, okay.
So what's happening here is basically when Batman was in the courthouse, someone shot at him and Catwoman. He's projected where the bullet came from the bullet impact, and it was fired from the bell tower in the church. So he's about to go into the church and find out who's shooting at him, basically.
Someone's about to be very upset that they pulled that trigger.
So something bad's happened to the church, because basically at the end of the day, this was supposed to be the medical center. This is where all the medical people are supposed to be set up, and obviously for someone to be shooting at them from there, something bad's happened.
Now, you've expanded how many characters Batman can fight at a time. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I mean, we've doubled the number of people you can fight at a time. People love the free flow system. So basically now you can go up to 25, 30 people at once.
At one time.
One time, and it's great. You've got twice as many moves, twice as many animations. So, you know, it's really something pretty awesome.
Does he just stretch his arms out and spin really fast, and then you just
That's
go
it.
through him
Just
Tasmanian
one
style?
move.
That's
Yeah,
it.
one
Yeah, it's just
move,
one
yeah.
move. You take on a whole bunch. Now, you talked about this world being big, obviously a lot larger than the Asylum that we were used to. In terms of navigating that world, how does Batman actually get around? Is it Grand Theft Batman? Is he stealing cars, or?
I mean, the great thing, I think this is one of my favorite features of the whole game, is the navigation system. So taking the fight into Arkham City, it's a much more vertical space. Something we really wanted to do was introduce, like, how does Batman get around Gotham? We wanted to answer that question. So
Fire escapes, lots of them, just clamping upstairs.
walking up in there. So we use this full momentum gliding system. So basically, as you're gliding now, you can dive bomb and use that momentum to glide up and through the city.
wow, that's
And then
cool.
you can grapple boost off the top of buildings. So when you grapple, you double tap and hold A, and it fires Batman up off the top of buildings. So when you get really good at this, you can glide across the whole of Arkham City without even touching the ground.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Very cool.
Attacking armor.
So it's something that we really, worked a lot on. It's the key thing you're doing. We waste hours doing it in the office where we're just messing around, gliding through the most ridiculous spaces. And we just wanted that to be great fun in and of itself.
Well, yeah, getting around should be a game in and of itself.
Yeah,
So that
totally,
sounds awesome.
yeah.
Now, in Arkham, oh, go ahead.
No, go
Candace,
for it.
all right, fine, I will go for it. In the last game, we spent a lot of time in detective mode, which, it was good gameplay, but a lot of times I think it pulled away a little bit from the look, the graphical aesthetic of the game. Has detective mode changed at all in this one? Or?
So what we've done is, Jez was just doing some detective mode there. We've kind of tuned detective mode, so we didn't want to kind of nerf it because you're Batman, you're the goddamn Batman. You should have all these features, you should have all these gadgets. We didn't want to kind of take that away, but what we wanted to do was kind of focus it. So we focused the detective mode on being Batman's hunting tool. This is the way that he tracks people down and hunts them. So we make the world slightly less readable, but we make the characters pop a lot more. So when you switch into that mode, it's a great mode for hunting people down. When you want to navigate, when you want to get around the world, that's when you come back out of detective mode into normal vision. So it's basically about using those two things. But you can still do detective mode all the time. It's your choice when you want to use it.
Right.
It's really important to us that you have the power as Batman to feel like Batman.
Are there any other new gadgets?
We have a ton of new gadgets. We're not talking about the completely new gadgets at the moment, but we
we
do.
can. That's
Come
fine.
on, you can do it.
Tell us this, is there a shake weight?
Shake weight.
If not, if the answer is no, that's fine, then give me one that there is. There's got to be something. What's new?
I mean, we've doubled the features on the existing gadgets as well. So to give you an example, on the line launcher, you used to be able to line launcher to zip over long horizontal spaces. Now when you're on the line launcher, mid-line launcher, you can spin, aim it again, and flip up in the air and fire again.
Awesome.
That's cool.
And when you fire it, you can even flip up and walk on it like a rope, like a tightrope, and balance. So in Predator maps where you've got guys with lots of guns, this is a great feature because you can kind of create your own vantage points to take people down.
Absolutely.
And your own strategies.
When is the release date?
So Batman Arkham City, we're coming out October 18th over here in the States, October 21st in Europe, on PC, PS3, and Xbox 360.
Got to play it any way you want. Seth and Hill, man, absolute pleasure. Thank you so much. The game looks amazing. And right now, we're going to send it over to Miss Kristen at our Twitter wall. Watch out for Batman.
Thanks, Kevin. Big news at the Twitter wall. Like, really big. Right here, we have our popular E3 Twitter topics, and Nintendo and we have switched places. What? Yeah. We was 5th place, we is now 4th place.
I don't think, okay, so
It's
you're
crazy.
telling me that we was here.
Yes, all
And now
day.
it's there?
And now
Did
it's
you
there.
guys hear that?
It's crazy, I know. Big news, big news.
I'm going to go over there.
Okay, bye. All right, I just want to read a couple of these tweets. We've got PS3 Stone 29. He says, these guys make games better than any Batman movie. Loving watching. Very nice. That's for you, my friend. All right, and Weird Archives, he says, about time we got to play Catwoman. Give the woman her own game and keep it true to the comic. All right? So, Weird Archives, just for that, you have won a Nintendo 3DS. Congratulations. For your chance to win a prize, tweet about E3 and use the hashtag E3 on G4. For complete rules, go to g4tv.com/win.
Want to know how the West was won? It wasn't. It still rages on in Ubisoft's Call of Juarez, the cartel. Talk to me about this game. What can fans expect?
This is the latest installment in the Call of Juarez franchise. Still a Western, like the previous games in the series, but this one is in modern times. So we get modern weapons, we get cars, and still on top of it we have the Wild West feel and a very good story.
What are some of the weapons that they get to carry?
So you have sniper rifles, you have submachine guns, you have automatic pistols, assault rifles, all the important stuff that you come to expect from a modern shooter.
There's a lot of different characters in this game, so how many different characters can you play as?
There are 3 playable characters, and actually you get to play all 3 at once, because this is a co-op game. It's built from the ground up as a 3-player co-op. So even if you choose to play solo, you still have 2 AI players with you.
What platforms is this game going to be available on?
It's coming out on all 3 main platforms.
When is it going to be available for me to shoot my friends in the back?
July 19th.
You bet against the wrong hombre, ese.
All right. don't go anywhere because the 501st is coming by the stage with the biggest MMO ever, BioWare Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Stay right there. G4's Live at E3 2011 has only just begun.
G4's live coverage of E3 2011 is brought to you by the 2011 Ford Fiesta. Drive one.
Hello. Games are nothing without controllers. I mean, these are an amazing number of customized controllers. What if you say, I want a little more control, I want to customize my own controller? Well, now you can with Lego. So you just take the Lego pieces and then you just smash them on here like this. And you have a customized controller made by me.
So insightful.
It was beautiful. Now, there were many things we expected to see at Microsoft's press event. Halo news, Kinect games, and Xbox Live updates.
But a new Fable game?
No.
None of us were expecting that.
No.
But it's still a really good thing.
Yes.
Let's go hands-on with Fable: The Journey. Joining us today, one of Morgan's my favorite people in the gaming industry, director at Lionhead Studios, Peter Molyneux. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for being here. Okay, so Fable: The Journey, it's the fourth title in the series, but there's no number after the title. Where does it take place in the series? Is it a full game? Is it a sequel?
Okay, well, here's the thing. Microsoft came to us and said, look, would you make a core game for Kinect? And, you know, we loved Kinect. We have been doing a lot of work on this Milo project, a lot of Sense of Wonder stuff in there. We love Fable. It was obvious to put those two things together. So Fable: The Journey isn't part of Fable 1, 2, 3, and 4 because Fable 1, 2, 3, and 4 is always about the bloodline. It's about the Fable bloodline. This is a different story. It takes place just after the end of Fable 3. You play a dweller. He's pretty much a nobody that's in charge of his horse and caravan. He's traveling along one day and he stumbles across this really injured character called Teresa, and that starts you off on this long, epic journey across the entirety of Albion. The way you travel is by controlling your horse, by using those reins, by doing subtle movements with your reins and horse. You can talk and teach your horse voice commands if you want to say, move on boy, or you're a stupid horse, or I think it's time for tea. Well, as you do your command, all of the variety of commands, he will learn that. You can, if you're the sort of gamer that wants to rush through games, fine. The only problem is you're going to have to beat your horse. You're going to have to thrash your horse with a whip.
It's a Peter Molyneux game.
And we really want, the horse is the new companion in the game, and he's going to feel pain and suffering. We will want people to form a bond with the same sort of bond that they had with their creature in Black and White and their dog in Fable. We want in Fable: The Journey. And all of that's done with Kinect. Bear in mind, you can sit down, be totally relaxed, control the horse. I really want you to enjoy that experience.
There's not just for the journey, but this sort of bad word on rails has been applied to quite a few games we've seen for Kinect, but you're going to tell us that is not the case with Fable: The Journey.
Right. Listen, there's one thing absolutely clear right from the start. The demo that we gave on the press briefing looked like it was on rails because you can't afford any screw-ups when you're in a press demo, so we took out all the navigation. But this is the opposite of on rails. This is the most free you've ever been in any Fable game. You're free to take your horse and carriage and explore anyway, to go in different paths, to go across plains. You're free to stop your carriage at any point and make camp. You're free to wander around the land, but don't go too far away from your horse and carriage because bad things will happen.
And so right now we're taking a look at some combat. How does that work?
Right, this is magic, but this is magic with Kinect. We have got to, if we're going to convince core gamers to go out and buy Kinect and play core games, we've got to give them stuff they've never had before. And what I love is that thought of, it's my magic. It's organic magic. It's about manipulating, creating this stuff that's in your hand. You can push it, you can pull it, you can twist it. You can make whole different spells completely unique to me. Then when you're ready, you can cast that magic, control it round the environment, push it round, push it up in the sky, pull it down, go and light things with it. You know, if you look at the demo now, what's about to happen is we're about to squeeze all this liquid plasma together with our hands. The more you squeeze, the more powerful it becomes. Then when you release and cast that, that is another unique spell. I love this idea of crafting and organically growing the magic.
Now, what are you doing with the spell so that it has that complexity that a core gamer wants, but it doesn't become so convoluted in terms of gestures and motions like that, it becomes overwhelming?
All of this is based around what you do. You can cast magic with one hand, with two hands, standing up, sitting down. We allow you to configure this magic around you, not around us. Now, if you look what's happening now, we're just going into the creational magic. That's pulling our hands apart and making a spear. Making things like spears and throwing spears, making hammers, making fishing rods, making telescopes, making healing pads, a whole host of things that you can create with magic, which just feels absolutely fantastic. All of this is about freedom. The freedom to cast the magic you want, not the magic that I as a designer want, which is about pressing the A button.
All right, so when are we going to be able to play Fable for ourselves?
Well, so Microsoft's saying next year, and
you work for Microsoft.
And you're saying next year.
Microsoft, so that sounds possible, doesn't it? Yes, definitely.
All right, thank you so much for coming by
Yeah, thank you, Peter.
sharing us through the journey. It looks like a lot of fun. Let's send it over to Kevin and Candace.
Now, I don't want to kill the mood, but I have some really sad news. WWE SmackDown versus Raw is dead. The series is no more.
Oh, no, but save those tears. Save those tears and hold the applause, wrestling fans. The franchise has been reborn as WWE 12.
That's right.
Now you can be excited.
And The Miz is coming by for a hands-on demo. You guys don't want to miss this. I tricked him.
You got me. You fooled me, Candace Bailey.
Oh, good.
G4's live coverage of E3 2011 is brought to you by Hanes. Look great, feel great in a Hanes undershirt with the lay flat collar.
E3 just keeps getting better. I'm a total kid in the candy store here at Caliber's booth where they're showing off customizable cases for your PS3s and your 360s. My favorite by far, and I know yours will be too, is this Gears one. Oh, dude, can I have it?
No.
THQ has ended the SmackDown versus Raw series, but it's coming back as a revamped WWE 12.
Guess what? We've got a very special guest coming by to show us what's new, so let's go. Hands on.
Here to show us the ropes is WWE Superstar The Miz and creative director Corey Ledesma.
Thank you. Wow, they're huge Corey fans. Huge Corey fans here.
Nobody cares about you, Corey. Nobody cares about you. Everybody cares about me. Welcome to E3. This is the king of E3, by the way.
Corey threatened to break your nose again. I heard him.
E3, I swear. Everyone's talking about Corey Ledesma here. Every time, hey, is that Corey Ledesma? Oh my God.
Right, trending on Twitter. I mean, I'm everywhere.
Yeah, he's everywhere.
It must be a pain to walk around with him, not getting any.
It is. It's a real pain.
You hate it, don't you?
He's wearing makeup, by the way.
Oh.
I have a broken nose. I have a broken nose, and I chose not to wear makeup.
But look who's not shiny on camera.
I'm not shiny.
Look at that shot you got right
That's the glow of a superstar. But enough pats on the back. Let's get to the game.
Yes,
That's the
please.
real superstar of E3 is the game.
This looks to be the most realistic WWE experience yet.
Yes, I agree. It's absolutely amazing. If you should watch it, I mean, it's incredible. They basically revamped the whole thing. It's bigger, badder, better. Just the technology is incredible. And you did a good job. I'll give you one compliment.
Thank you. That's very nice.
Rare. That's very rare.
Nice.
I get that.
Corey, with regards to that technology, it's not iterations. It's not bolting on new systems. This is a from the ground up rewrite of the entire engine.
That's right. It's not a new name. It's not some fancy box art. It's a brand new technology introduced to the game. The code was built on that new technology. It's a new animation engine and a new renderer. So
is the animation engine, is that Predator technology?
The Predator technology,
lets you see
exactly.
thermal vision? And
it's not that crazy, but it is a new animation engine, and basically that allows us to introduce some of the most fluid, smooth, high-quality animations that the franchise has ever seen.
Because The Miz requires that. His moves should not be seen blocky.
I enjoy smoothness. I believe they made me more ripped and bigger. It's more realistic this year, which I tend to like. What are you doing that? Don't you give me that. It's real Corey Ledesma at Twitter.
Making him look good in the game.
It's not hard making me look good. I always look good. Look at my.
I'm glad these chairs aren't folded. That's all I'm gonna say.
Now, Miz, which of your moves are in the game?
Which of my moves? We have the high kick. We have my finisher, the skull crushing finale. Yes, it's a high kick. Right to the face. I'm actually, I've been thinking about giving Corey Ledesma maybe a high kick sometime or another. But the skull crushing finale, the reality check, the sit-through clothesline in the corner, we got them all. I mean, it's absolutely fantastic, and I beat up everybody.
Can you show us some of those moves after?
You wish, sweetheart. You wish.
Commercial break. Noses and hearts are breaking.
Game on.
Corey, regarding the smoothness of the animation, in the past, you'd kind of do a move, the animation would trigger, and that was it, you were locked in. Here, a move can be interrupted at any time, just like an actual WWE match.
That's a new capability with the technology that we have. Fans have been asking for that capability, where basically now when The Miz is doing a suplex, someone could come in, like maybe Alex Riley, I'm not saying he's in the game, come up and break up that move now, so it adds this whole new multiplayer dynamic.
How dare you bring up his name in front of me? How dare you? You bite your tongue.
Sorry, I didn't know that was so sensitive.
King of Nerds, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow, it's heating up here. That's stone.
And they clap for it. And they clap for it. That's why I like you guys.
Terrible pop.
Now, losing players get a second chance with dynamic comebacks, right?
With dynamic comebacks, yes. There's basically what it is what is it? It's when
they get damaged.
Thanks, Miz.
Listen, I told you he's the nerd. He knows all the information.
I got it.
I'm the commentator. He's the play-by-play. I'm the commentator.
All right, let's get a play, and then you commentate.
There we go.
You got it.
Absolutely, comebacks. We want to allow the player to be able to make a dramatic comeback in the match. If he's getting beaten down, he's got one chance to make that comeback. It's a series of moves. It's a combo.
I never get beaten down.
That's the problem,
that's the thing. That's why I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, that feature doesn't come flying your character. Of course.
So obviously I probably won't have that in the game because I'll be on top the entire time.
What superstars are featured in the game?
At E3, we're announcing that we have the awesome one, The Miz, in the game.
Miz is in the game. That
was a little late, guys. Please be on top of this stuff.
Obvious applause line. I'm sorry, Miz. You deserve way better than that.
Unbelievable. You dress them up, you can't take them anywhere.
We also have John Cena, we have Randy Orton, and Alberto Del Rio as well in the game.
Now, when do we get to play the game?
The game's going to come out November 22nd this holiday season.
And when are you guys going to have a hangover-style buddy cop film or something? Because it's got to be in the works, right?
It could happen, but the thing is, I think he's the one that's going to die. He's going to be the one that we leave somewhere. We leave him on the roof, and then we're going to leave him on the roof forever.
And this tape is Exhibit A. Thank you guys so much for coming on.
Thank you very much.
The Miz and Corey, the King of E3.
King of E3, guys. King of E3.
It's an E12, completely new game, but now we're going to send it over to Adam.
All right, both Microsoft and Sony had big press conferences this year, full of talk about motion control, interactivity, and new hardware. We'll break down all the news in this special E3 edition of G4TV.com's Feedback. Joining me are Morgan Webb and G4TV.com's Eric Eckstein. All right. Let's start by focusing on Microsoft. As we just saw with the Fable demo,
right?
And I've learned this, and you'll see this soon with the Star Wars Kinect demo. Both of these games were accused of being on rails, and it's proving that they actually have a lot more dynamic sort of options to them.
Well, yeah, Peter Molyneux was saying, like, you've got so much going on in the demo. You really don't want to screw it up in front of everybody, so you kind of take out one level of complexity. And with the demo, the game's not finished, so they're still working on it.
But I mean, it's interesting. I think we're finding, and I see this with Vita as well. Vita. See, this is going to drive me crazy all week long. That, there's these new things that don't exactly work in the typical presentations of say, television or, you know, at these big press conferences, and it seems to have a lot of blowback.
It's really hard to demo that kind of stuff in a very short period of time. That's why they picked something very specific, the voice recognition in Mass Effect 3, the gunsmith demo that they did for Ghost Recon. I mean, I think you have to spend time and experience it yourself really to really know how those games play.
I mean, and also, I gotta say, I always make fun of Microsoft, and I will. Messaging is to that company like mucus is to David Cronenberg. It's like, but I mean, they say so overstressed, it's so sort of rehearsed, and it seems to have really hurt their image, especially when it comes to Kinect. I mean, there's a lot of negative chatter coming out of that press conference.
Well, I think also because still the core gamer feels a little bit left behind by motion control, because we had the Wii experience, we had the Kinect experience, where it just isn't subtle enough to really give you that hardcore experience we've been craving. And I think we were a little disappointed when Microsoft hit the Kinect so hard.
And we all took away from it on rails, because nothing says hardcore like on rails.
And we don't want to see Fable be an on-rails game. We want to see Fable be Fable.
Which it clearly actually is.
That was some amazing news we just heard.
I
That
know.
it's not on rails. It's going to be, you're going to be able
And
to
you have a
explore
relationship with your
world.
horse, like in The Godfather. So Sony, I think they had a similar problem with Vita. I was I am impressed with the hardware, but I knew at that press conference, this is not making the case to the person sitting at home.
I mean, it's a touch device. It's really hard, and so
it's
you're
a
playing
small
around
screen.
and small screen. And they're showing it off the shoulder, so it's like it's really hard to demo. But when you're touching it, and you actually feel the way that it reacts to your touch, when you're playing the games. I mean, it starts to click. Everything starts to click when you play it that way.
I mean, Morgan, how influential do you think a press conference like Sony's is on the decision to buy the Vita much later on this year?
You know, I think it sort of has this transitive influence. It's gonna, journalists hopefully are gonna get to check it out, and their impressions are gonna trickle down into the mainstream. But I think they're gonna be helped the most by getting the Vita into Best Buy, getting it into stores so people can actually try it out for themselves.
I think the other thing, and I do wonder about this with Sony, is this year has incredible exclusives, and they didn't really, except for Sly Forward, talk about any exclusives for next year. I mean, are they kind of? I mean, is that momentum going to get lost?
I mean, we didn't see Sorcery. That's the one they were talking about when Move came out. So I imagine that's something for next year when they figure that out. But yeah, we really don't know what they're doing. But they have a really strong lineup for this holiday season.
I know. So. I mean, they're looking good for this year. I think there are some question marks for both companies as we look to 2012. All right. For more on the world of games and other worlds, be sure to tune into X Play. Starting next week, we're going to have new episodes every single Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 6:30. Forever.
We
promise. Cross our hearts. That's our new schedule.
And on Thursdays and Fridays, we are going to live tweet during the week's biggest shows.
Do I have to get dressed for Twitter?
Absolutely not.
Really?
No. Now that we've got that settled, let's send it over to Candace and Kevin.
Thanks, guys. I'm guessing most of our viewers are fans of either Star Wars or MMOs. You have to at least like one of them.
And if you like both, even better. After the break, we're going hands-on with BioWare's Star Wars, The Old Republic. We'll be right back.
Right after this.
I hope that's a saber. What is that?
G4's live coverage of E3 2011 is brought to you by Burger King, home of the Whopper.
Welcome back. It is a sad truth that most MMOs come up woefully short in the story department.
What are you talking about? Sims Online. It was steep, it was rich, I'm lying. Star Wars The Old Republic bucks this unfortunate trend with an honest-to-goodness plot and dialogue trees. Sounds like a BioWare game. It's crazy. Let's go hands-on.
Joining us today is lead writer Daniel Erickson.
All right, Daniel, good to have you.
Give it up, y'all.
Daniel, we brought you here for one reason and one reason only. When is it coming out?
From the get-go.
2011.
Really?
Still firm. 2011.
This year?
Really? We are
Yes.
firm for 2011?
Firm for 2011.
That's emphatic. All right. Well, that's good. That's good. surprisingly enough, there are people out there that don't understand what Old Republic means. It means the Old Republic.
Yes.
For those who don't know, please put the game sort of in a context in the Star Wars universe and timeline, and then what we're looking at on screen in the context of the game.
Sure. So the game takes place about 3,000 years before the events of the modern movies, and about 300 years after the events of the original Knights of the Old Republic. So the Sith Empire, who's actually like where all the Sith come from originally, they've been gone for 1,000 years. Everybody thinks they've been demolished. Turns out, not true. They come back, they fight. There's a giant war, lasts about 40 years, a very tenuous peace. And after that is when our game starts.
Okay.
So we're sort of the second generation that's had to deal with it. Both sides are looking at each other. Both sides know the war is going to break out again, and you're going to pick which side you're going to represent.
Okay, cool. Now each class in the game will have a different story depending on the moral choices you make. So can you give us a few examples of how this will affect certain classes?
Absolutely. Each class actually has their entire storyline, and they're very different feels. So the smuggler is sort of action comedy. The trooper is, your classic war story, and each one has different things that they have to worry about as far as what their moral choices are going to be.
Okay.
The trooper, for instance, is asked to do some very bad stuff.
Questionable.
Yeah, well, he's special forces, and then he gets called in front of the Senate, and he has to make the decision right there. Does his patriotism take him to the point where he's going to tell the Senate the truth about things he's doing that he knows are not actually allowed under Republic law? Or is he going to stick to the loyalty of his people and his chain of command? And that has huge repercussions
I like
to
that.
where his career goes.
It really, that sounds like something that if we were talking about a single-player game, I would expect you to be telling me something with that level of complexity and how it plays out. I'm curious about some of the other traditional MMO aspects, like, say, a raid. How has it also been altered from what we expect from, say, World of Warcraft?
So we just pulled the cover off of our operations systems, which is our take on raiding. And much like the flashpoints differ from the dungeons, the raids are really about it being contextual, about it telling a story, while still bringing all the things that people really want from a raid, which is big, massive, coordinated strikes where you've got to get a whole bunch of players together and try to do some of the most complicated things in the entire game.
Now, also, what are we looking at here? Because I got the idea that this is actually what you would consider a puzzle element of the game.
Yeah, so this is actually one of the things we wanted to show. This is on Alderaan. Okay, and Alderaan is in the middle of a civil war, and this guy named Boris Olgo has taken over and he's become the king, and they're fighting their way inside to the castle. This is actually not a flashpoint, this is not a raid, this is showing how cool and how, like, the puzzle fights and the great boss fights just in the normal game. So they're here at the end of a world arc, which is a 10-quest series. So they've been fighting against this guy and his forces for a very long time. They're going to get to go into the throne room and face down the man who would be king of Alderaan and who they don't want to be. And so what you're seeing here, okay, they've just come into the elevator. We've got a group of 4 here, so we've got a full party. We've got a Jedi Sage there who's doing the healing. We've got a trooper with a very, very big gun who's actually our point of view. And we've got a Jedi Knight and a smuggler. Smuggler's going gunslinger, so just tearing everything up. And this whole piece here was a piece of original art they did just for the castle. So there's a lot of great set pieces here that the artists have done.
Yeah,
and so this is Castle Pantier. You can actually see the damage and where it blew up from when Olgo came in. He hung his banners, but he didn't actually fix the place much. He hasn't had much time. It's a war.
Now,
it's a remarkable amount of detail.
What kind of personal mounts will you be able to ride in this game?
So we definitely should started showing them this time. One of the things we did, so we're saying vehicles because we decided we had to just make the decision of which came first, the mechanical ones or the animals. Everybody loves Tauntauns, but they don't really fit in a city environment.
No, or on Alderaan, or on Tatooine.
Yes, whereas the speeders do. So we went for short personal speeders. We tried the full-size speeder bikes, and they took up a lot of room in the cities, so we shortened those up. And they look really cool. There are various
it's like the
ones.
Vespa of the speed.
Yeah, they're kind of a Vespa, Segway, Harley. Like, you ride back on them. We've got ones for the different factions, but it is actually possible to go and snatch one from the opposite faction if you're a very crafty fellow.
So we're talking November 2011, right?
Daniel, how about this? Right?
Let's say
I'm Star Wars The Old Republic. That's my name.
You are Star Wars The Old Republic.
When do I celebrate my birthday? Because I want to have a party.
Well, are you Asian? Because they actually celebrate the first one right at the beginning and they're already a year old. Like, traditionally there's...
if I need to take off a special day to celebrate, what day would that be? Coming out.
It's interesting. There's always that debate with the MMO because right when it comes out, it's really crowded.
We're not going to get
so you might want to wait for a little while.
Helpless Daniel, just go finish up the game. Thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you so much.
All right, to see the opening cinematic of the told them how, but just go to g4tv.com/Star Wars. Let's send it over to Morgan.
Ace Combat Assault Horizon lets you experience what it's like to shoot down enemy planes over metropolitan cities. I think it sounds like it's dangerous. Jessica's on the floor with the latest on this flight combat sim.
Are you guys ready to churn and burn? Well, good, because we're coming at you with some missile madness for Namco's Ace Combat Assault Horizon. This is a long time running franchise. How do you keep it fresh?
What's really great about Assault Horizon is we've really kind of taken it back. We've done a rebirth of the game. The way the graphics look, the visceral intensity of the dogfights, the different aircrafts. We introduced helicopter for the first time.
So what are some of the other advancements in the game?
One of the things that is like kind of a key vision for the game is this phrase Steel Carnage. And basically what that means is here you've got these beautiful, supersonic, multi-million-dollar aircrafts. They spew oil, they spew gas, they shard into pieces. Eventually they explode.
All right, last question. Platform, price, release date.
Yeah, so Ace Combat Assault Horizon is coming out this fall, October 11th, for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, and $59.99. It's going to be a hot game this holiday. It's already looking great. So, Ace fans, get ready to fly.
All right, I think we've had a pretty good E3 so far, right? But I don't think there's anything that could top Konami's very unusual E3 press event.
What could? But still, they're here on the floor with several new downloadable games, and Tiffany Smith has all the details.
Sexy girls battling for their souls, zombies lumbering down the street. Okay, either this is one really bad blind date, or it's the latest games from Konami. First up on the list, Skullgirls. What's the storyline for this game?
So there's a mystical artifact called the Skull Heart, and every 7 years it grants a wish to a young woman. But if her heart isn't pure, it twists her wish, and she becomes a monstrous entity known as the Skull Girl.
Okay, so most of the gameplay is just two chicks going at it.
It's actually, you can have teams of up to 1 to 3 women.
When can everybody else play this ultimate fighting game?
It'll be out in 2011 on PSN and XBLA.
Just wait for the encore.
From Skullgirls to rotting corpses, Konami has got another killer game with their sequel, Zombie Apocalypse 2. What can fans from Zombie Apocalypse expect in this second installment?
There's a ton. I mean, the first thing that I'm actually pretty proud of is the fact that we gave it more of a 4-player team environment type action. So, first game, you just had one character. This time around, you got 4 people. You get to switch between all 4 and have a lot of fun.
Okay, so I personally like getting up close and using the chainsaw. What are some more weapons that are going to be available in this game?
You know what? Chainsaw does make a return. It's not going to be readily available, but you get to use it as much as you want. But there's going to be a ton of different weapons. You're going to see a lot of these created weapons in the game that cause a lot of destruction. Yeah.
Destruction of zombies is always the goal, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so it's clear that the zombie apocalypse is going to happen, but at least now I'll be prepared. So with these amazing games from Konami, the only problem I have is which one I'm going to play first.
Do not go anywhere! That means all of you as well, please. We need you to clap. We got 2 classic fighting franchises that are going head-to-head right after the break.
We'll go hands-on with Street Fighter Cross Tekken in just a few minutes, so stay with us.
I will.
Yo!
Stay right here.
All right, I am back here at Ford Fiesta Social Club getting ready to check out Tomb Raider. But right now, I'm taking a look at limited edition screen prints, which Ford is doing every single day of E3. And they print them right here for you. Hey, cool stash. How you doing down there, intern?
I'm okay.
Shut up.
G4's live coverage of E3 2011 is brought to you by the 2011 Ford Fiesta. For more on the road to E3, visit g4tv.com/road to E3.
with one of the show's most wanted games, including Insomniac's 4-player co-op, platformer, Ratchet & Clank, all for one.
Yay! Plus, we got a demo of EA's SSX, which shows you what it's like to really take on a mountain. And later, we'll go handsless with Microsoft's Kinect Sports Season 2, which features 6 new sports games to play.
It's time to bust some heads.
Oh, please no. There's nothing gamers love more than a nerdy crossover,
Yep.
and it doesn't get much better than Street Fighter Cross Tekken. Let's go hands-on.
Joining us today is Capcom Fighting Games advisor, Seth Killian. Thank you so much for being here.
Good to see you again, Seth.
I should also say, a fighting gamer extraordinaire.
To say the least.
To say the least.
To say the very least.
Okay, how does this crossover even come about? How does it get started? Where does the kernel of
Did
the
you read
idea
my
come
Slash
from?
fiction? Because I wrote a lot of it. It was on my GeoCities site before that
I
went
wish
under.
I wish it was as sane as that. It's actually straight up a bro deal between the producers of the two series. Ono-san on the Street Fighter side and Hirata-san had a late night of drinking in Japan. Decided to make this game. It sounds like a ridiculous story. It's all true.
I love that a bro deal is something that happens.
It's a bro
like,
deal.
oh,
I
we're
believe
knocking
that-
back some sake, and all right.
That's the technical term.
That's really cool. Now, how do you go about like taking the 3D Tekken and especially 3D fighting and adapting that to do 2D? Is it literally just flattening the characters? I imagine there's
we
more
used
than
all
that.
3D character models, so we recreated all the Tekken character models in more of a Street Fighter style. But what we've done is given them all sort of special moves to help them dodge around the Street Fighter's fireballs. So the Street Fighters are stronger at a distance. Tekken guys are beefier up
They're definitely close-up guys, yeah.
But they also have, basically, if you know how to throw a fireball, that gives you an advantage coming into Street Fighter game. But if you've got old combos and strings that you've memorized from Tekken, those will work all the way right from the beginning of Street Fighter Cross Tekken. So those old techniques carry over.
How do you actually deal with the balancing for these two techniques and just characters from completely different series? I mean, are you tweaking up to the very last minute?
We really are, and we have long ways to go, but there's a lot of new mechanics, and again, as I said, the Street Fighters have a little bit of an advantage at a distance with their projectiles. The Tekken characters, very, very strong with the up-close mix-ups, guessing games in there, but it's just a long process of playing. It means we get to play a ton and have a good time and try and fix it out as we get closer to launch.
So in terms of how the game plays, I mean, obviously you said that the combos will work right out of the box if you're a Tekken fan, which is cool, but is the actual style and the pacing, is it more reminiscent of a Street Fighter game?
I would say overall it's closer to a Street Fighter game. Of course, Capcom's making this, so we got to represent Street Fighter. But the Tekken guys are very cool.
Which, by the way, Street Fighter did all right as a franchise. I hear it did okay,
It's
so that's
okay.
all right.
It's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
But the Tekken guys have these great mix-ups, and all their moves are not really standalone moves. They go from one into the next and into interesting chains, and really keep you guessing, which is a hallmark of Tekken with its high-low mix-up games.
And so what kind of like modes are going to be in? Of course, we're going to have online, and how is that going to work?
We're hoping to basically, I think Street Fighter 4 really put online fighting games on the map. We're trying to improve and expand in every way possible. So everything we did with Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition, we're hoping to go far beyond that with Street Fighter Cross Tekken and really blow people away.
All right, well, let's just go through the entire character roster and just say who we got. Let's start with the Tekken side of things. Who do we get to play?
Oh, there's almost too many to list, but some of the new ones we have at the show here are Porang and Julia from the Tekken side, and we've also got Sagat and Cammy, of course, fan favorite on the Street Fighter side. And we also were able just to announce at the Sony PlayStation conference an exclusive new character for the Vita and the PS3, which is Cole from Infamous. So he's a great mix-in there.
That's right, yeah.
Doing the electric tornadoes.
He's bulky.
Yeah, he's a big guy, and he's got a lot of crazy, overpowered moves. Right now, he's a little too strong, but that's the way we like him.
All right.
Hopefully we'll keep it that way. All right, when can we play?
2012. But we're not going to make you wait too long.
That's all right.
All right.
You narrowed it down. I like that. Seth, always a pleasure, man.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do a combo breaker there and steal the handshake. Thank you so much. Right now, we're going to send it over to Miss Kristen.
Hello, thank you guys so much. You know, our Twitter wall is constantly moving full of tweets about what you guys think of E3. Important to note that hashtag E3 just crossed 1 million tweets on our tweet counter. Very exciting. And I want to highlight Tawny Zombie right now. She's got a question for Kevin and Morgan. She wants to know, in your opinion, what were the biggest surprises so far at E3?
There
actually weren't a lot of surprises at this year's E3. We kind of had a good feeling about what mostly was coming.
We thought it was going to be called the Vita. We kind of knew what to expect there. Like, we got that from Sony.
We didn't know it was going to be called the Wii U. The rumors had been that it was going to be just called the Nintendo. So there was that overstrike from Insomniac. Nobody really knew anything about that game.
That is true. Excited to learn more about it as well. But I think Nintendo did, coming into this, they had the most sort of whimsy and uncertainty. They were the big question mark. And again, it's going to take about a year until we figure out exactly what the Wii U is and what it's capable of.
Right. Because they keep saying they don't like specs. I'm like, but we like specs.
Exactly.
We like them.
We kind of need to unscrew the thing to know exactly how it works. And once we do that, that will be a big answer. But for me, I was very surprised to see the announcement and exactly how it works.
Yep. So pretty much we're so in the know that there are no surprises. Is that really what you're saying?
Basically.
What can we say?
We're the Neos of the Matrix. It happens.
That's
We see
right.
all the ones and zeros.
That's right. All right, coming up, we're going to give away a year's subscription to GameFly, so make sure you keep tweeting as much as you can. Use the hashtag E3 on G4. Just keep tweeting it over and over and over again. Who cares if you're repetitious? We like that.
Ubisoft has brought back the classic 70s car chase and put it right in your face with Driver San Francisco. I'm here with Martin, who's the creative director behind Driver San Francisco. Martin, tell me about the game.
Well, Driver San Francisco, we've attacked from two different directions. The first thing was to return the feel of the game back to the original Driver to really please the fans of the original game. And at the same time, also to add a really new, innovative feature, Shift, which allows the player to shift instantaneously between any vehicle from any height in the city.
Now, this game is actually inspired by 70s car chase movies. What ones in particular?
French Connection, Bullet, of course, set in San Francisco, anything from the 70s.
Now, what were some of the challenges of creating a city like San Francisco?
Well, San Francisco was an obvious choice. It's the most iconic car chase city of all time. But it's a technical challenge because it's so hilly. You can drive at the top of the hill in Russian Hill and look over the entire bay.
And multiplayer is a part of it. It has to be.
It's a big part of it. It's a total game changer. You've never played anything like it.
And when can I get behind the wheel?
August 30th on the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, PC, and Mac.
Grab 3 friends because after the break, we are going hands-on with a 4-player co-op adventure Ratchet and Clank All-in-One.
Actually, you know, what if one of those friends is a dog?
That doesn't count.
But he's my friend.
It doesn't count.
He licks my face.
Oh, Adam.
He cries.
G4's live coverage of E3 2011 is brought to you by Kit Kat Bars. Break time, anytime.
There's really only one way to get around the crowded floors here at E3, so I stopped by World of Tanks and asked if I could borrow one of their smaller models. Let's see what this baby can do. Let's go, boys!
Welcome back. You're watching G4 Live at E3 2011, presented by Burger King.
It takes a lot of effort and hard work to bring a big game to E3, but madness!
Now, Insomniac is just that crazy.
Yes.
They're bringing 2 hands-on demos to the G4 stage. They announced yet another game in addition. Here's the first one of those demos, though. Ratchet and Clank, All for One.
Here to walk us through the co-op adventure is studio director at Insomniac, Chad Dezern. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming and bringing us this game.
Chad, it is no surprise why Morgan and I are here talking about the game. As great lovers of Ratchet and Clank. We've seen various levels of the game over about the past year. Where are we now in All for One, and what's the setting?
Sure. This is Luminopolis City, which is on planet Iliac, and this is where we kick off the game. Oh. It's our training level in a lot of ways, but it's a training level that's set up against a big backdrop of story and events that are happening as you play through.
And so Ratchet has traditionally been this single-player experience where you are, going through the story by yourself. How do you translate that into a co-op experience?
Right, we've wanted to make a game that simply let you play Ratchet and Clank together for a long time. And, we sat down at our first brainstorming session for All for One, and we knew we had an idea when we left the session with more ideas than we could possibly execute. So for All for One, we really started out, to make a Ratchet game. We started with the delicious core of a Ratchet title, the story and the weapons. But then to that, we kind of, built the camera from the ground up to support a co-op experience that you could jump into with your friends.
Actually, I want to talk about the camera, because that really is one of the hardest things you can do. I think you played the first Little Big Planet, and you're like, oh yeah, the camera pulls back too far. I mean, what is the camera doing here? And I've gathered that the camera positioning is also allowed for the graphics to kind of pop in a way that's different than usual Ratchet and Clank games.
Sure, we think of it as a director's cam. And so for us, this has been like an opportunity to really frame the backdrop the way we want to. It's like a great device to show players big events that we might not have been able to achieve previously. But the camera also works very hard to keep everybody on screen together. And we've also added a few mechanics that let the group, do a little more work themselves to stay together. For example, you can do a hook shot to another player anytime, or you can do a sprint just to quickly get up together with the rest of the group. And, all that taken together means that you kind of get into this mode of team play where everybody really is sharing the camera and kind of sharing the experience together.
Now, if you don't actually have 3 friends, if you are looking for a more solo experience, you're still going to be able to play the game.
Absolutely. Yeah, we wouldn't, leave the single-player experience behind by any stretch. And in fact, the cool thing about playing single-player in All for One is that we give you Ratchet with a Clank pack. So Clank is going to ride, in the classic Ratchet style on your back most of the time, but when you're in combat or when you need help, he jumps off and dynamically moves to help you. And that's what we've tried for, like an AI that really is there to help you, that you want to play through the game with, instead of an AI that's getting in the way too much.
Obviously, caring is sharing, and there's no I in team. But Dr. Nefarious is there, and Quark's an idiot who only cares about himself. Sure. I mean, obviously, you do have to work together in some cases, but there are ways that you want to try to just benefit yourself in the course of the game.
Yes, absolutely. We think of it as reward yourself while you're working together. And so what we mean by that is the game supports cooperative play, there's no doubt. You work with your friends, but you're also trying to get the most bolts. So, right now this group is competing to get as many bolts as they possibly can. And the winner at the end of a segment is going to be able to buy the best weapons first. So that leads to bragging rights. I've got a rocket launcher. You guys have nothing but blasters. So you get to be the cool person on the team for a while, and you also get to be the envy of your friends.
Okay, so weapons are always been a huge part of the Ratchet series, and we're going to have some crazy weapons this time too.
Of course, yes. We love thinking of weapon ideas. We spend a lot of time doing this, probably an unusual amount of time, but I mean, it's fun for us. We've got the Critter Strike, which we're throwing at E3, kind of tapping into our long tradition of weapons that let you change things into other things. So this time you can change enemies into a T-Rex or a pig or a sheep. We really kind of open it up this time around.
A T-Rex or a pig. That's a nice, vast swamp.
Depending on how you want to play, right?
T-Rex is so dangerous. I don't think that's a good idea.
When you say that you can buy weapons, I mean, so obviously people can mix and match their arsenals. Not everyone's really on the same playing field all the time.
That's right. We really support a couple different play styles. You could elect to upgrade the same weapon along with the rest of your team if you all coordinate and buy the same thing. And with that, when you target the same enemy with that weapon, you get a giant co-op overload effect that increases the power of the weapon you're using. But at the same time, maybe you want to specialize a little bit. Maybe you want to be the guy who's really good at stunning enemies. And so you can upgrade that weapon and kind of specialize on the team, hold enemies in place while the rest of your friends pile it on, with the rest of their arsenal. So, yeah.
All right. When is it coming out?
It's coming out October 18th.
Yay!
Yay!
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for coming out, Chad. Thank you.
Behind the Story is one of the coolest showings at E3 this year, and you'll never guess what it is! Seriously, what more can you ask for with the reimagining of Tomb Raider franchise? This is insane.
Yeah, one of the big changes that we've made is that we want to reimagine a real human character. Lara had become a caricature of herself over the years, and it was something that we believed when we finished Underworld that it was our chance to go back and tell a very new and very fresh story. And with that comes this vision of Lara Croft. We want it to feel relatable, we want it to feel human.
So what's new with this reimagining?
Basically, we've gone back to an origin story. We've kind of tried to tell a tale of Lara Croft in her first ever adventure. She's 21 years of age, straight out of college. She's not the girl that we know of years past. She's going to go through a huge character evolution to become that forged hero that we all remember her to be.
When it comes to gameplay, tell me a little bit about that.
Well, instead of that puzzle solving that we used to have, it's now about smart, resourceful Lara. It's about using the elements and using the situation around you to be able to sort of get out of tight situations. In the past, we had sort of levers we used to pull and sort of balls we used to move around. Now it's about manipulation of spaces. And then one of the big pillars is dynamic traversal, and that's before it used to be Lara moving from ledge to ledge. Now we allow the player to have some real freedom in our hub spaces to be that adventurer and explorer that she should be.
Now, for all our sick and twisted fans out there, with this being an M rating, what kind of goodies can they expect out there?
So I think the key thing was, from the very beginning, it was about telling a story of survival. We didn't believe that we could tell that story if we were just to be a T-rated game. So in order to sort of tell that sort of hardcore story, an emotional driven story of how this girl is going to become this forged hero, we believe that we need to move into the M-rated space. Now, it's not because we want to develop a game that has gore and blood and guts. It's about if you were stuck on an island, it's not all pink and fluffy.
So tell me about the platforms the game will be available on.
So it comes out on Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and PC in fall 2012.
Sweet. Seriously, you need to check out Tomb Raider. Give me this.
Thank you.
Thanks, Carl.
Okay, if y'all have ever wanted to try out real-life Mortal Kombat, ooh, I love you too, but lack the guts or insurance, then you'll want to check out G4's new original series, Proving Ground.
Of course you will. Jessica Chobot and Ryan Dunn will cosplay as Scorpion and Sub-Zero, as well as recreate Mario Kart and moments from movies and pop culture, which, of course, will likely go disastrously wrong.
This is true. Proving Ground premieres next Tuesday at 8, right after Attack of the Show. Go to G4TV.com/Proving Ground for a taste of what's in store.
That's our show, the Attack one.
That's true, Kevin.
Coming up, fine white powder. A whole mountain of it.
Oh, Kevin. We've got an exclusive relaunch of SSX right after this short break.
You're watching G4 live at E3 2011. Stick around.
G4's live coverage of E3 2011 is brought to you by Burger King, home of the Whopper.
You know, here at E3, you're on your feet all day. I'm in 5-inch heels, and sometimes your tootsies get tired. What a better way to give them a rest than to jump into a pile of plushies. Aww. Ow! Hey! Jerks.
The weeks leading up to E3 are a strange time around the G4 offices.
Yes.
There's excitement in the air, energy in the cubicles, and a man from the future that we torture for information about upcoming games.
Of course. If you're as confused and horrified by that statement as I am, be sure to check out the Road to E3 presented by the 2011 Ford Fiesta. You can see videos and more at G4TV.com/Road to E3.
All right, guys, one of the best things about E3, and there's a lot of best things, is seeing old friends.
Yes. Not actually people.
No.
We avoid them. We could care less. But when we say friends, we mean franchises that have been away for a little while.
It has been far too long since we've gotten to play a new SSX, and we have got an exclusive look. Here to tell us more about the game is Todd Batty, creative director. Thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you, Todd.
All right, so this is the first new SSX game in quite a while. Did you kind of have to start over again?
Yeah, I mean, we built a completely new tech base. So in terms of technology, we harvested some of the best stuff we could get from around EA and put it together and built a brand new engine for this game. In terms of design, though, we have plenty of classic SSX stuff still true to the franchise.
when you say harvested, it makes it sound like you stole kidneys from coders. It makes it seem like you just went office to office, kicking down
It's
doors
not far
and taking
from that,
code.
actually.
I like it. Well, this style, of course, looks far more realistic than previous SSX games. Is it still going to be the over-the-top arcadey feel?
Absolutely, sure. You know, when we move to next-gen rendering technology, of course, the game starts to take on a more realistic look, which we think is pretty stunning. But we are going to remain true to the crazy over-the-top. There is no way that SSX is going to become a simulation snowboarding game. So it's as crazy and over-the-top as you could ever imagine.
And where is all this powder? Are we in Charlie Sheen's backyard, or what are the locations in the game?
So we're going to take players all the way around the globe. We harvested technology from NASA. We got topography data of the entire planet Earth from NASA, and we are going to let players explore and drop themselves onto every major mountain range on the planet.
So you've taken this this topographical data from NASA, and then do you have to tweak it at all, or do you just put some snow on it and let it ride?
Yeah.
Yeah, sprinkle some snow. Let's go.
I wish it was that easy, really. No, we start from the topography data taken from NASA satellites, but really that's the beginning point for us. What that lets us do is to let all of our world builders, level designers, and artists spend all of their time creating what matters most to everyone else, which is making the gameplay really fun, making the levels as big and over the top as they've ever been for SSX, and we're taking a look at that right now.
So it's not like procedurally generating a course based off a mountain that you click on. It's actually design. You guys are hand designing these things.
We absolutely do that. We use the data as a starting point. You can see here we are going inside Kilimanjaro, one of the most iconic mountains in the world. It's actually a big, giant frozen volcano. I've learned more about mountains in the last 2.5 years than I ever thought I would need to. We clearly don't have data for the inside of the mountain, so all of that is handcrafted and created by our level designers.
I was going to say, one of those stalactites looked like it was out of place.
No, I mean, it wasn't there when I went last.
I don't even know if those are even stalactites. I'm sorry.
Okay, so now there's Race It, Trick It, Survive It modes. What are those?
So 3 different ways to play, 3 pillars to gameplay. Race It and Trick It should be very familiar to SSX fans. It's what the franchise was built upon. Survive It takes us into a little bit of different territory. You're looking at some footage right here of what we call a deadly descent.
It is a deadly descent.
That's a 1,500-meter descent down the south face of Denali in Alaska, trying to outrun an avalanche. Avalanches in SSX are completely organic, unscripted, 100% physics-driven. They can happen anywhere. They never follow the same path down the mountain twice. It's amazing.
So you spent a lot of time modeling snow, is what you're saying?
Yes, we spent a lot of time with snow. You've been waiting for me to say that since I came on.
Are avalanches the only environmental danger in the game?
No, there's actually 9 deadly descents in SSX, and each one's themed after a different environmental challenge. I'll try to list them. Rock, ice, snow, thin air, gravity, wind, fog, whiteout, and darkness are the 9 different deadly descents, and each one plays out very differently from another.
And so now you're revealing characters that are going to be in the game actually on your Facebook page. So you're kind of...
Yeah, so in early days, we were wondering, doing a lot of research, fan sites, trying to figure out what characters should we bring back from XSSX. You can see Mac Fraser here going down a Trick It track. That is a track in the lower level Himalayas, riding on, we thought it'd be pretty cool to ride the Great Wall of China. So we built the Great Wall of China and let you ride and shred and grind down the wall. But yeah, we thought, why bother doing all the research? Why don't we just ask our fans, who do you want to see back? So we've announced Elise, Mac Fraser, and we just announced at the press conference to kick off E3, Kaori Nishidaki, huge fan favorite. She was a landslide winner in our Facebook contest. We just put her into the game very recently.
All right, when does SSX come out?
January 2012, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360.
Thank you so much for coming by.
Thanks for having me. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Coming up after the break, we'll put down the controller and demo one of the new games just announced for Connect. Get your first look at Connect Sports Season 2 right after this.
G4's live coverage of E3 2011 is brought to you by the 2011 Ford Fiesta. Drive one.
The creepy bunny, I'm not gonna lie. That's weird. There are a lot of things we take for granted, running water, security guards.
Yes.
Most important of all?
Yeah.
Gravity.
Yes, you are going to have a new appreciation for that particular force when it all goes haywire in the new shooter inversion. Let's send it over to Jessica for more.
If you guys are into defying gravity and kicking alien ass, well then, Namco's inversion is going to be a gun-toting good time. The resistance has begun.
Inversion is a third-person action shooter, and what we've done is we weaponized the gravity. And so now you'll be able to make them float in the air when they're hiding behind cover. And so what we really have tried to do is make gravity something meaningful and part of the gameplay. We have what we call the GravLink, and what that does is it allows you to shoot these spheres of gravity, so guys will float up in the air. We also have what's called heavy gravity, and there you can pin guys to the ground, you can run up and hit them with a shotgun sort of thing.
So what about your multiplayer online? I'm looking around and I'm seeing some people having matches right here.
Imagine playing multiplayer floating through 0G and hitting somebody, making them float in the air when they're crouching behind cover sort of thing. So it kind of makes the whole multiplayer experience a little more mobile.
So the question I always have to ask, what platforms are we going to see it on? How much is it going to cost? And when is it coming out?
It's coming out on the PlayStation 3, 360, and the PC, February 7th, 2012. And it's going to be about $59.99.
Fantastic. Looking forward to it.
This holiday, Connect Sports Season 2 is going to have you jumping around your living room with 6 more sports to play.
Let's go hands-on for a closer look.
Joining us today is lead designer for Connect Sports Season 2, George Andreas.
Hi.
Hi.
Connect. I mean, what are some of the new features? I mean, obviously you've now had a year to kind of learn what the system can do, and so what does that bring to Connect Sports 2?
Well, I think firstly, I mean, you touched on it just then, but Connect Sports was the biggest selling, and still is the biggest selling Connect title worldwide, so we're very, very proud of that. We're building on the success of that and moving on with Season 2. We've got things like voice-activated commands, so the guys will be showing you something in a second with American football.
Awesome.
We have 6 new sports ranging from American football, baseball, we have skiing, darts, nice collection of sports there, obviously golf and tennis as well. And we have some great live features, so there's a whole bunch of different things to try and push the franchises as far forward as we possibly can. And an interesting thing is we've actually learned an awful lot in the space of 10 months from when we actually finished the first Connect Sports. You know, the learning we have with Connect now is probably tenfold from what we did originally and what we learned originally. So it's great, and we're really able to push the technology really hard this time.
Awesome. I think they're playing football over there in a second. I was going to go try to join them, if y'all don't mind.
Yeah, because you strike me as an excellent football player, Candace.
Hey, you never know, Adam.
You are full of surprises, Candace. You're going?
Y'all have fun. I'm going.
We'll talk about sports as she goes.
Take my shoes
Football would
off.
actually strike me as one of the more challenging games to have when you have no controller whatsoever.
Sure, it is. It's a difficult game, but we learned an awful lot with the first Connect Sports.
Yeah.
So doing a sport like American football, you guys call it football, we call it American football in the UK. But we have soccer,
we
you
call
have
it soccer,
football.
and you go, oh, silly Americans.
So, football has been a challenging sport, but because we're able to use voice this time round, it's great because it gives you the option to actually use your voice to command the play, puts you on the field of play, unlike anything you've ever played before. So you can just call the plays, you can call a slant move if you want, you can shout hike to then suddenly get the ball. We're using the full body tracking, so you're the quarterback, you're able to throw the ball, the receiver's able to run onto the ball. So we're using a lot of the learning that we had with the first game, but actually just taking it up another notch now. So American football is one of those that's challenging. Darts is equally challenging, even though it's a slower sport. Golf is another
voice
one.
doesn't have much in darts.
There's a few ideas we have in terms of voice, but we're not going to reveal too much this time. We'll be showing that sometime in the future. Golf is another sport we've actually brought to the show floor as well, so you can call out to your caddy, change the iron from 4 iron to 3 iron, so using your voice there. So, it's one of those sports, football in particular is one of those sports that's quite energetic. It allows you to really get involved in the action, and it's a sport for everybody. So, whatever your skill set is, we're making sure that the gameplay is very simple to play, approachable, and above all else, fun.
Now, what is the challenge play mode?
Challenge play, okay, so challenge play is a new thing coming to the Connect Sports franchise. It's effectively using live in a new and unique way.
We have some success over there. Okay, apparently Candace is quite good at football.
She's just scored a touchdown, which is fantastic.
When there's no football there.
Yeah. So going on to challenge players you were talking about there, it allows you to play asynchronously across live. So I can play a round of golf, I can then send you that challenge when you're not online. When you go online, you receive that challenge, and then we can play a round of golf together that way. So we don't have to be in the same place at the same time, regardless of where we are in the world. So it allows us to challenge over live in a new and interesting way. And that'll be there for all the sports as well, not just for golf, obviously for American football and for any of the other sports that we have in the package.
Does the game come with soccer?
It did. The first one did.
Yes, of course it did. I had to say it to your American football.
Okay.
It was just too tempting. When does Connect Sports 2 come out?
It'll be coming out this holiday season.
All right, well, great.
I don't know if y'all just saw that, but I got a touchdown.
Well done.
So it turns out I am good at football.
We heard the noise. We heard the noise.
I had a good time.
Well, congratulations, Candace. A round of applause for Candace, but obviously, thank you so much for joining us. All right, Connect Sports 2.
Thank you.
Well done.
All right, let's check in with Christian, who's standing by at the Twitter wall.
Candace, you're such a spaz. That's why I love you. That's why we get along so well.
How are you?
You're such a spaz. I love you. Okay, so over here at the Twitter wall, we have a lot of things going on. I have to give a shout out to Queen Bee Lil Mama. She keeps tweeting her booty off. And if it were up to me, I would give you something for free, but we rock, paper, scissors, and you don't get it. So anyways, 8-Bit Maiden wants to know, Candace, have you picked up any new dance moves since wandering the E3 floor?
You know, I'm always picking up new dance moves, but I can't really show you right now because I'm in a dress and it's really tight.
Okay.
Whatever,
But
you just
maybe-
played football in a dress?
I did. Show it.
It's called the My Feet Hurt, okay? It goes like this.
Yeah, I know that one really well.
That is very awkward.
Yeah.
And a little disturbing.
That's the story of my life, Kristen. It's the story of my life.
I'll show it on a tag. I'll show my new moves on a tag.
Okay, 8-Bit Maiden, I hope you're happy with that. All right, well, just for that tweet, you have won an Xbox 360. Woo! And a one-year membership to GameFly for free video game rentals. For complete rules, go to g4tv.com/win. Now let's go over to Kevin and Morgan.
Stick around, there's still more from E3 2011 on the way. We have this booth rented out for another day and a half, and we are not going anywhere. We are going to lose the deposit if we do.
Totally. Coming up, we're going to go hands-on with Relic's new third-person Orc Slayer, Warhammer 40K Space Marine.
Space Marine!
We'll be right back, everybody. The Marine in space.
Amidst all the cutting-edge games here at E3, nothing is more satisfying than the classics. You guys should have been here 5 minutes ago. Oh, yeah.
G4's live coverage of E3 2011 is brought to you by GameFly, video game rentals delivered to your door.
Keep going. Welcome back to G4 Live at E3 2011, presented by Burger King. Now, Space Marines have become a video game cliche thanks to the life of Master Chief and Marcus Phoenix, but where did they actually get their inspiration? It's Warhammer 40K, everybody, and Relic Entertainment has decided to take back the name and make their own burly shooter. So let's go hands-on with Space Marine. Here to walk us through this orc-killing sim, Raphael Van Leerop, lead producer, but Raphael Van Leerop.
Yeah.
Did I butcher that, or is that right?
No, you did it perfectly.
Best name we've had on this damn stage all E3. You're now the Duke of Awesome. If we can get that up.
Thank
There you go.
Yeah.
Because with a name like that,
I've been called a lot of things, but I think that's my favorite.
there you go. You should create a new Twitter account for it. All right, let's hop into the actual awesomeness that is Space Marine. For those who don't know, Warhammer 40K has been around forever. It's a rich universe.
Yeah.
I remember it as a tabletop game with pewter figures and people shouting with a tape measure at each other.
Sure.
That was my memory of it. But it's been around for, what, 35 years or so?
It's been almost 25 years.
Oh, 25
yeah,
years.
It started as a tabletop, as you said, and it's amazing how many stories people have, like yours, about how they had an experience when they were younger and kind of put it aside.
And it's been amazing to be making this game and be able to touch such a strong chord with people, all those memories and things. I'm really excited about Space Marine because we can bring them, give them an opportunity to get back into that fiction, get back into that universe in a very accessible way as an action blockbuster.
And why are we slaughtering all these orcs? What have they done to upset our delicate, fragile Space Marines?
Well, the thing is, in the world of Warhammer 40,000, humanity is surrounded by aliens, bent on its utter destruction. Really, the Space Marines stand in the way of that happening. Forge World Graia, which is the setting of Space Marines, just been invaded by a massive orc army. The Titan war machine is one of the most important parts of the war effort that's built on this planet. The orcs want to get their hands on it, and you have to stop them.
Okay, so then orcs aren't just misunderstood. They're actually jerks that should be exterminated.
They're pretty bad.
Okay,
yeah, they're
good.
pretty awful.
Well, at least it's cut and dry. I like that. Now, it's a third-person shooter.
That's right.
And there's no cover mechanic.
There's no cover in, and really that comes back to the core fantasy of being a Space Marine hero. In Warhammer 40,000, Space Marine is something very specific. It's not just a generic sci-fi warrior.
Right.
It's a specific character, and really these guys are all about being confident on the battlefield. That's why they're dressed so conspicuous with that bright armor. It's really about being confident, striding forth, taking all the weapons and the tools and the training they have and just dominating.
Yeah. They're proud to be a big, shiny target. They're
That's
like,
right.
come on, bring it. I'm not hiding.
They're not hiding. They want to strike fear in the hearts of their enemies.
And this, by the way, it looks gorgeous. This looks phenomenal. What are we seeing here? How far into the game experience are we?
This is a couple hours into our single-player campaign, and as I said, you've been sent here to try and protect the Titans. This is the outskirts of the Titan factory, and the orcs are trying to break through the main gates. So you're going to try and stop them.
And wow.
Yeah.
I know Space Marines have weapons at their disposal, but the huge focus here is melee combat, right?
That's right, yeah. I mean, one of the unique things about Space Marine is we have a full third-person shooter combat model and a full third-person melee combat model, seamlessly combined so that the player has the full freedom to choose between those two things at any given point.
And with the gallons of blood on screen, this is E for everyone? Is that
That's right, it's for kids.
It's absolutely for kids. Make sure you grab it now.
It's all about delivering the brutality of the Warhammer 40,000 universe, and we haven't spared any, effort in really delivering on that visceral experience. We call it visible violent death.
You say, while entrails are spilling out onto the screen. All right, so now we're seeing some ranged weapons here. What are the actual, what's the armament of a typical Space Marine?
We have about 15 weapons in the game. We've got 3 melee weapons, so we've got the chain sword, power axe, the thunder hammer, and then we've got a host of ranged weaponry that fill all the roles that you would expect in a shooter. And then we've also got a class of weapons called exotics, which are ranged weapons that are so overpowered that we only can give them to you at specific sort of set-piece combat areas. So yeah, there's tons of weaponry. We've got all the orc enemies that you get to fight in the game. We also have chaos that comes into play a little bit later in the story, and so they all have an immense amount of variety between them, lots of different roles, lots of different behaviors. So there's an amazing amount of variety in the game.
And there was a moment there where I saw a golden kind of glow around the corners of the screen. Was that like a bullet time effect, or was that a special power?
So as you're doing damage to enemies, you're building Fury. You see that little meter in the lower left-hand corner of the screen. And what you can do with Fury is it's just sort of an enhancement to your combat toolbox. So you have both a ranged Fury marksman mode, which is kind of like a bullet time slow motion for headshots and things like that, and you have a melee, which allows you to kind of stomp into an area of effect that buys you time when you're mobbed by enemies.
And knock them all back and then slaughter thousands of orcs.
We also have a neat mechanic where, in our game, when your health is, when you're in trouble and you're kind of losing health, what we don't want players to do is to run away and kind of wait for it to regenerate like you usually do.
Stop the action.
That's right. So basically what we do is we give you the executions, which are an even more kind of aggressive maneuver to get right into the heart of battle, pick up a guy, saw him in half, and harvest health from him.
Listen, guys, I'm almost dead right now. I'm going to execute you instead of run away. I love that. Never running from the fight. When's the release date? When do I get my hands on it?
Well, Space Marine shipping in September of this year on Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and PC.
Looks gorgeous, Raphael. Thanks so much.
Thanks
the Duke of Awesome, everybody. Remember that. Thanks for the hands-on look.
Thanks a lot.
Let's send it over to Candace.
3, 2, 1. We love you, Duke of Awesome!
Oh, that was for you.
Oh, hey! Thank you.
That was a bunch of hot women loving it.
Rumors and speculation, we finally got a new Hitman game at E3. Hitman Absolution continues the tale of Agent 47, and Tiffany Smith is on the floor with more.
Think James Bond is a bore? Well, then Agent 47 is your man. Or shall I say, Hitman.
Some of the new features is something called Instinct. Instinct enables the player to see the world through the eyes of Agent 47. It's Hitman's personal story, and you come closer to Hitman, who he is.
I don't know how up close and personal I want to get with a deadly agent. It sounds pretty awesome.
Cool, so,
Are you sure that you didn't make Agent 47 look like you? This is the first time that Hitman's going to be available on the PS3, right?
That's true. It's also coming out on the Xbox 360 and on the PC as well, and it's coming out next year, 2012.
If you want to get a little up close and personal with Agent 47, you are definitely going to want to check out Hitman Absolution. I think I'm standing with him right now, though.
You know, after a long day of E3 coverage, there's no better way to cleanse your old palate than by watching some ridiculous viral videos, courtesy of Mr. Hardwick and Web Soup.
Yeah, it's me!
Guys, it's Chris Hardwick!
Hey, guys!
Welcome him. He rubbed a Wiimote against his face that had a lot of nerd germs on it. I'm sorry.
I did. I think I can slowly feel the herpes or whatever when I rub the Wiimote on my face.
Your cheek is going to be Akira. It's just going to grow
Don't
out.
put controllers on your face here while you're at E3. By the way, if you want to be a complete person, you should tune in to tonight's show for Web Soup. In fact,
why is that?
I hear it's a special E3 edition. It's immediately following this. Go ahead. Roll the thing.
Coming up, get sucked into a gigantic E3 episode of Web Soup. Chris Hardwick hits the convention floor to bring you an exclusive look at the hottest titles never coming to a console near you. More inappropriateness than you can shake a controller at. E3 rages on! So slap on your gaming pants.
Watch me get all the points.
It's a very special E3 flavored edition of Web Soup. Next, only on G4.
Please don't miss Web Soup! Special E3 episode immediately following this show.
Make Hardwick happy like.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris Hardwick.
Good to see you, Kevin. You're doing excellent work.
You stop it.
You haven't slept in
Stop
days.
it. I haven't.
You haven't slept in days.
Methamphetamines. And if you need your viral video fix in the meantime, just go to g4tv.com/websoup. Thank you again, Sir Hardwick. And thank you again, Sir Hardwick. And thank you again, Sir Hardwick. Don't go anywhere. We got more E3 on the way.
All right, do not go anywhere. We still got more E3 on the way. More demos, more flashing lights, more screaming.
More screaming!
More
Coming up in the next
screaming.
hour,
More
don't
screaming.
miss our hands-on look at Insomniac's latest Resistance 3. We'll be right back.
G4's live coverage of E3 2011 is brought to you by Burger King, home of the Whopper.
They can see that. One more. Go ahead. Welcome back to G4 Live at E3 2011. If you want live coverage straight from the that's one dude who's excited to be at E3.
He makes me do it.
Come here, be that excited. Come on right behind us. And move it up. If you want live coverage straight from gaming's biggest event, this is the only place you'll be able to see it. Don't you love that? I love it. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that was good.
Square Enix fanatics, pay close attention. Coming up, we're going hands-on with Final Fantasy 13-2.
Plus, we'll show you how to wield the Force in a demo of Kinect Star Wars.
And later, Gears of War 3 comes to stage. We'll check out the new and improved Horde mode.
Right now, it is time to shoot those damn dirty chimeras.
It's true, they do not bathe. They do not
They do
bathe.
not.
In Resistance 3, Insomniac takes the franchise to some very dark places, like it didn't go there before. Humanity is on the ropes. Nathan Hale is dead, and you're playing as the guy who killed him.
Let's go hands-on. Joining us now is Marcus Smith, creative director at Insomniac Games. Okay,
Guys,
so yes.
do these people know it's E3? People are trying to play games. Can you guys keep it down?
I don't think you're
right,
gonna keep
you're
these
right.
people quiet
Okay.
for anything. Okay, so kind of stuff. The end of Resistance 2, Nathan Hale doesn't really make it that well in the end.
What?
So who are we playing?
Spoiler.
Sorry, it's.
2-year-old spoiler.
You guys, I think the spoiler is 1 year. So
Okay.
who are you playing as this time around, and what's your character like?
You're playing Joseph Capelli, who's the last Sentinel. He was in the same project that Nathan Hale was in. He obviously played a pivotal role at the end of Resistance 3. And he's kind of like the ex-gunslinger who's hung up his guns, his killing ways. He's gone back to he has a family, and he's
He's trying to just stay out of the way of the Chimera, kind of live a life, but of course they draw him back in.
So, what is kind of the scope of the game? I mean, we saw America and Resistance 2.
Sure.
But in this game, are we seeing all of America again, albeit from an even darker, more sort of dirty, messed up way?
No, we jumped around a lot in Resistance 2. In this case, it's a straight road picture. It's you're leaving your hometown in Oklahoma, and you're going to New York City. And along the way, you know, things happen. You never know where you're gonna end up. In fact, today's level, you literally drop from the sky into a Appalachian mountain forest where you're being hunted down by Chimera.
Well, it's interesting because we've seen urban up until this point. This is the first that's kind of wooded.
Yeah, so we're trying to bring just a little bit to show you the variety that you'll get out of Resistance 3. We've shown Haven, the hometown, seen that being decimated by big evil monsters, and now this is a much more subdued, you being hunted. You have to be extremely careful. For example, James just died.
James!
No pressure.
James Stevenson, everybody!
James!
And must have been the pink controller.
It's the pink controller.
Yes.
It's James is playing with the pink controller, and that's been a fan favorite so far of the show.
So this game's actually less about this military team and more about regular people and how they're dealing with this situation.
Yeah, that's right. This is Joseph Capelli. As we said, he's the last Sentinel. He's just a guy at this point, and the people that he's fighting with aren't superhero military guys. They're just Joe Schmo from down the street. So the people you will be fighting with when you're fighting with people, this level is you're all alone. But when you're fighting with other people, it's just going to be normal guys. So it's not so much like tactical military shooter. It's more like, how do we survive when the world is completely overrun by Chimera?
You still have good weapons, though.
Oh, hell yeah. I mean,
and the weapon wheel is back.
Weapon wheel is back. The weapon wheel is back. That's right.
You know, I could say chicken feet and make them cheer.
This is Resistance 3 from the ground up was really how do we give players as much choice as possible. So, you know, we've always had the primary fire, the alt fire. Now all the weapons are upgrading as well. You want to be able to grab any weapon that you can to go against any setup the way you want to, the way that you want to play. So you're not trying to figure out what we're making you do. You know, you can approach every setup in a number of different ways.
Now, I know our viewers at home didn't see it on Monday night. I was actually there at the Sony press conference. But you can play it in 3D. I mean, what have you sort of discovered that adds to maybe strategy or the way that you interact with the game?
Well, it took me a little while. I think Sony is, it's a big initiative for them. Obviously, they're doing 3D television, and a lot of the games are bringing 3D to the forefront. I was a little skeptical with all the peripherals. I'm kind of a purist. I kind of play, I'm lazy. I play, with my hands like this. I'm really digging both the move, sharpshooter combo and 3D. 3D really does, for first-person shooters, works really, really well. The biggest trick is how deep you put the HUD and things like that. Like, you don't want to get people's eyes tired of having to adjust all the time. So
okay, so we got to wrap really quickly, but we need to talk about multiplayer. So just give us a quick overview.
Multiplayer is, it takes the idea of player choice and really blows it out. Not only do you have all the weapons, we have sort of soft classes, build your own classes, where you have abilities that you can be acquiring along the way, and that will help you, again, play the game you want to play. So if you're a sniper, you're going to get the abilities that help you be a better sniper.
All right, you know full well we want to play this game.
Yes.
When does it come out?
What's that?
When does it come out?
September 6th, so very shortly.
September 6th. Thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you.
And we are going to send it over to Kevin.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
If you ever wanted to know what it's like behind the scenes of G4, but don't have the guts or ambition to be a stalker,
Don't encourage.
I know, today's your lucky day.
All you need to do is check out the Road to E3 presented by the 2011 Ford Fiesta.
Go to G4TV.com/Road to E3 for more. Don't go anywhere. Our coverage of E3 isn't over yet. We've still got some big demos left.
Yeah, it's coming up. We'll go hands-on with Final Fantasy 13-2. And when I say coming up, I mean in just a few minutes. Like, right after this prison. That's Street for break.
Yeah.
I have easily found the coolest booth here at E3. I'm hanging out with a company called Immerse, and they came up with this little doohickey right here called the Core FX. Basically, it turns your entire body into its own personal sound system. You can hear everything, you can feel everything. It's all interactive. It is awesome. I absolutely love it. This is so cool.
G4's live coverage of E3 2011 is brought to you by the 2011 Ford Fiesta. For more on the road to E3, visit g4tv.com/road to E3.
Welcome back. Now, 2 years ago, Square Enix blew the doors off of E3 when they announced Final Fantasy 13 for the Xbox 360.
And they're back this year to show off the sequel. Let's check out Final Fantasy 13 2.
And joining us for this hands-on demo is Parker South of Square Enix. Thank you so much for coming by and bringing the game.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
So how does this game continue from the last?
So it's a continuation from 13. We're going to take right where 13 left off, and basically Lightning has gone missing in this storyline, so we're going to play as two characters that weren't playable in 13. Sarah, Lightning's younger sister, and then Noel, a new guy that we just announced for 13-2 at E3 this year.
Oh, cool.
So we're looking for Lightning, trying to figure out where she is, and the demo kind of continues from there for E3.
Now, 13 really had changed up the battle system from a lot of the previous Final Fantasies, and it did become a love or hate it thing with your rabid, very passionate fans that are out there. Have you made any adjustments in 13 too?
Absolutely. You know, we've kept the paradigm system mostly intact. I think, you know, people did like the pacing of it, the fact that you can switch between roles very quickly, kind of go defensive or offensive in the same battle. But what we tried to do is add a little more strategy, layers of that into the game. So one of the first things we're showing at E3 this year is that
That's
you can
really
now...
cool.
Oh yeah, this is a big boss battle to kind of set the beginning of the demo, but later on in the demo you'll get to the point that you can bring monsters into your party now. So as you fight them, you'll defeat them, they'll kind of crystallize and join your party. So
I mean, it's almost like a Pokemon thing where it's like, I gotcha, you're now mine.
in a way, you know, what's different is you're switching between them constantly, just like with Paradigms as you were in 13 to begin with. You're now switching between monsters in the middle of battle, and it'll happen very quickly, kind of responding to what the enemies are doing, and you can kind of strategize that way.
Okay, I'm also hearing of the term Mog Clock. Is that something you can speak to? What does it mean?
Absolutely.
It sounds nice.
So in,
I
in
like
13, one of the biggest differences is that enemies were persistently on the screen. You kind of approach them and attack them at will. In this game, they will appear randomly, but when they do, there will be a little clock that shows up at the bottom of the screen. And what that does is it ticks away. If you're able to engage the enemy when it's in a good spot, a green spot, you'll get kind of a preemptive strike. So you'll have an advantage in combat. If you don't, then you get a disadvantage. So it's just a way of bringing the field back into battle a little bit more, putting more influence into how you play the game in the field.
Cool. How does cinematic action work in battle?
Cinematic action is new to 13.2. Basically, in the middle of battle, you'll get these small cutscenes that'll take place.
Like this right here?
Yeah. You'll see button prompts come up. If you can complete those successfully, then you're going to get some advantages. So in this case, what we're seeing here is that Noel and Sarah got some buffs applied to them. Their attack power is increased here. If you fail, it's not game over. You're going to get damaged in this one.
But it's a very nice way to kind of engage the player in a moment that traditionally is rather passive.
Exactly, yeah. We're trying to kind of merge those two concepts of cinematic and battle and bring that all into one now. At the same time, you know, if you fail some of those QuickTime events, you don't just get an error button. Sometimes the event will play out differently. So some players may want to fail them on purpose to see what happens. In some cases, kind of comedic.
Now, side quests. How are they being handled in this one? Because that was also something that was slightly different than 13.
You know, we're not showing a lot yet, but at least in what we're showing at E3, there's a main objective. You got to go find Atlas and try to defeat him, but at the same time, there's a sub-objective now. You can go deactivate him with this device that appears, and so we're trying to introduce more options to the player. Like, do you go straight to the boss and fight him when maybe you're not strong enough, or do you go try something else to see if you can weaken him first, and who knows?
I might be fishing here, but towns, we're going to get to see one?
Okay, at the outset of this demo, actually, I don't want to call it a town. It's not going to be in the same format that you'd expect. You're not going to go to a shop yet. But at the same time, we're trying to introduce new locations that'll have NPCs scattered around. You can talk to them. They'll comment to you as you pass by. just try to create these living environments that are outside of battle, let the player play at their own pace, and just kind of do things their way.
What kind of environments are we going to get to see?
The one we're showing at E3 is called Brescia. It's actually a returning location from 13, but since 13-2 takes place after the original in the chronology here, it's going to look significantly different. You're going to see other locations return, obviously absolutely brand new ones. Even in the E3 trailer we just came out with, there's a brand new location we're not talking much about, but it's going to look very different from what you saw in 13.
All right, well...
I think the final question is, when are we going to play 13-2?
We're saying early 2012 right now.
All right, that's good enough for me. From Sherry, that is good enough for me. Thank you so much for bringing the game by.
Parker, thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you.
Now let's go over to Kristen.
Thanks, guys. Final Fantasy 13-2 is lighting up Twitterverse over here. Dr. Dark 13 says, I've played Final Fantasy 13 and it was awesome, which means 13-2 will be even better. Chadwick8505 says, really looking forward to Final Fantasy 13-2. I've invested so much time in the first one and I can't wait to do it again with the second. And just want to point out, we're almost at 4.5 million tweets on our tweet counter. That's awesome. Keep them coming, keep them coming. Remember to use hashtag E3 on G4 and we'll mention you and you will have a chance to win a lot of great prizes. So we'll have a console giveaway coming up. Make sure you use that hashtag. Let's get back to Kevin and Morgan.
Thank you, Kristen. Starting Thursday, watch the best of our E3 2011 coverage whenever you want.
Just look for G4 on demand on your channel lineup. Go to g4tv.com/VOD for more info.
Do you feel that?
I feel it.
It's like the force is flowing through yourself. I'm feeling it.
Well, if you guys don't feel it, you actually might after seeing our next hands-on demo because we have got Kinect Star Wars coming to the stage in just a few minutes.
And if it's not the force you feel, it might be a stroke, so you might want to get that looked at.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
E3 is one of the funnest places on Earth. I'm at the Prime World Bounty House with the Nival girls, and we're having a blast!
G4's live coverage of E3 2011 is brought to you by Hanes. Look great, feel great in a Hanes undershirt with the lay flat collar.
G4's new documentary series, Bomb Patrol Afghanistan, will embed viewers inside an elite U.S. Navy explosive ordnance disposal unit patrolling the battlegrounds of Afghanistan. Right now, take a look at an unprecedented sailor's eye view of the most dangerous job in the world.
Right now our situation is we're on Shock Road, heading south towards the suspected IED is, and then we'll prosecute it from there.
We're going out there against something that doesn't have a personality, a soul, and it wants to kill you.
About 50 meters, you can see it pretty good. It's on the left-hand side of the road. Charge is in the center.
No matter what goes down, I know that other guy's got my back.
Hey, EOD topside, we found a cache.
I got the demo. Hey, load up, we're pushing out.
Give us a couple minutes, can you hold?
Getting ready to move.
Hey, we gotta get a casualty in here!
Throw some bang on there, throw a couple blocks, and we're gonna freaking blow this guy. All right, bring the robot up. Get all your guys down.
Loves her job. Bomb Patrol Afghanistan premieres this fall only on G4. Go to g4tv.com/Bomb Patrol for more.
soon as Microsoft revealed Kinect, many gamers asked the same question. Where's my damn Star Wars game? Well, those questions were not in vain. That day has finally come. Kinect Star Wars is here. Joining me today is Craig Derrick, lead producer at LucasArts. Craig, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Craig, I guess everyone can tell, I'm about to start playing it with you, but
that's right.
What is kind of the basic gist of the game? A lot of people wondered if it was on rails when they saw it at the Microsoft press
Not on
conference.
rails. The gist is we're gonna go into the world of Star Wars. We're gonna be Jedis.
Okay.
That's what we're gonna do.
Now, in terms of enemy selection, so how do you sort of control your movement through the world?
So we're gonna show you. So let's jump in.
All right.
And now move your body around and just focus on a guy and just start swinging. There you go. Now,
all right,
now,
right.
Now lean forward. Like, let's do that. Like, there we go.
All right, I'm gonna jump towards the. Oh, okay, that works.
There we go.
No, but I have to say, I am. Oh, hold on, horsepower.
There we go.
And then if I lean forward, I'm gonna dash
There you
towards
go.
him,
You got
hit him.
And then I'm gonna bring that guy over to you.
Yeah, please.
There you go.
Send enemies
Have
my
him
way.
dance in the air. Throw him there. All right, let's go take care of this tank. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna break up the action a little bit. Now we're gonna just use the force.
Okay.
Concentrate. Lift it up. Now let's not fight against each other. Let's throw it to the left.
Okay.
And just heave it. There we go. All right.
Okay, cleaning my room would be so much easier.
All right, so there's more guys. We're gonna jump in there and jump.
So I have to ask, how challenging is it to sort of develop it where you can select the enemies, you can have that much free roaming in a game like this?
It's actually quite open. You know, you want to be able to move around freely, but at the same time, you want to direct people to the action. You don't want to necessarily get into a place where you're just guided completely. All right, we got him. I force pushed him. Now what you're going to do is like repel back. This guy's going to fire at you, so you can block with your lightsaber.
Okay, I was about to ask if you can do blocks.
Let's see what happens when they shoot. You can repel back, or you can just move forward.
All right.
Jump over those guys, swing at them, knock those shields down, slice them up.
You got me a little bit schwitzy.
All right, now
so does the game actually sort of have a clear narrative? And where does it fall in the Star Wars universe?
The Jedi Destiny is going to fall between episodes 1 and 3. You're going to start off as a Padawan. You're going to learn how to be a Jedi from Yoda, and then the whole career progression is really about becoming a Jedi Knight or even a Jedi Master.
I do have to ask, even though Kinect is all about not holding anything in your hands, there is that fantasy everyone likes to. You know,
hold something in their hands.
I'll take a toilet paper roll and call it my lightsaber at times.
You can do it. It's
okay.
It's not going to obstruct anything from the game itself. All right, I'm going to lift this guy. I'm going to try to bring him over to you. Let's see. If you lean forward, get over there. And
there we go.
Oh, I knocked him into the wall. So when you play the game like we're playing, we can play as Jedis, but if you're playing like this by yourself, you're going to get to play as one of your characters, and you always have a guide character. In the case, Kit Fisto is the guide character for me, but then if you jump in, you can play as him. Let's say you jump out, I can get back right into the single-player campaign, and then someone else can jump in and play with me.
And I assume it supports just up to 2. I mean, I assume with any more, it might get a little bit messy.
Right, yeah, exactly. It's a Jedi party then at that point, but yeah, it's only up to 2.
Now, is the game a full-fledged in its length, like around 8 to 10 hours, or is it more of a smaller game?
Well, the game itself is going to span all 6 movies, so you're going to get lots and lots of hours of experience. Yeah. But then, like, we have different kind of modes, and this Jedi Destiny is going to be a few hours in terms of a single-player campaign. But as we just showed, you can jump in and play that anytime you want to.
And when's the game coming out?
It's coming out holiday this year.
All right, holiday this year. It was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Attention all cogs! After the break, we've got a demo that you don't want to miss.
That's right, we're going to go hands-on with Gears of War 3. It's the Horde mode, and we're going to find out what new twists have been added to this insanely popular game mode.
We will be right back.
And we'll unpause it, we promise.
G4's live coverage of E3 2011 is brought to you by Kit Kat Bars. Break time, anytime.
Hey guys, I'm here hanging out at OnLive where they're showcasing something really, really cool. They got their entire menu system running on your favorite iOS or Android devices, specifically your iPads or your tablets. You can jump into any game. I'm gonna go into one that looks cool, which this one looks cool. And there you are, perfect for the gamer on the go. Thanks, guys.
All right, welcome back. Gears of War 2 brought the words Horde mode into the gaming lexicon, and it's been copied by pretty much everybody else ever since. But Epic is bringing back the popular mode to Gears of War 3 and adding some new twists as well. Here to show us Horde 2.0, executive producer Rod Ferguson, everybody.
How's it going?
Thank you for braving the hangover. You guys had a phenomenal event last night. Ice-T on stage, Body Count.
I know, it was crazy.
That was insane.
Debuted the Gears of War song by Body Count. I have the voice that showed I was singing along with it as we went.
I remember about 3 words from the song in between the black and the other confused memories.
And he's very accurate on the water bottle throws. I got hit twice.
Exactly.
It was nice.
It was a wild one. But let's talk about something even wilder, Horde Mode 2.0.
Yes.
This ain't your daddy's Horde Mode, right?
It is not.
So how have we gussied this up? It's 2.0, so it's reflective and shiny and HTML5?
Yeah, exactly. Basically we looked at what people want to do with it, like how do people play it, and basically they want to set up defenses, and so we said, well, let's bring that, let's enable that, let's get some fortifications going. So we got things like barriers, decoys, sentries, turrets. We even got the silverback you can build, and so...
What? Oh, so that's what we're seeing here.
Yeah, so here they're building turrets, showing off the different kind of things. There's the silverback.
And you have to build the silverback?
Yeah, well, you pay for it. And so you basically, everything you kill, you earn money, and that money you're able to spend on fortifications and ammos and weapons.
Okay, and so is it like a team pool of money, as in all of our kills together? Then we can all spend the money?
It's personal. It's all like your own money, but everybody also has their own sort of their skills, so they can each build up separately. So you don't just start with everything. The very first time you play Horde, you're gonna have like one wall, that you can build. But
and it will crumble soon.
Exactly. But as you build it, you'll get more money, and you'll be able to get your skill up, and then you'll be able to unlock bigger and bigger build, all the way up to laser fences, and like I said, and the silverback.
And I saw the turret going up for a second there. Then I saw a shield being added to it. Are there different levels to each upgrade? Or?
Right. So we have a whole bunch of different levels. Some of them are just like you can repair cheaper. It's cheaper to build. But some of them just give you new abilities, more ammo, that are more durable, that kind of stuff.
And you've already confirmed the silverback will be there, so we can hop in it, march around, and mow down.
Yeah, absolutely. And what you're seeing there is that we, because Horde is all about co-op, we have weapon swapping, ammo swapping. We can even give money. So we were seeing
Wife
that last
swapping?
night. Wife swapping, yeah.
3.0.
Yeah, there's a fishbowl, little keys in the fishbowl. It's all good.
I have no idea what you're talking about, good sir. No idea that in that level of detail with how those things go down. Congratulations. There's also huge boss battles, right? I mean,
right. So things everybody wanted from Horde was they wanted boss battles. So every 10th wave there's a boss. Now we have like more than 5, like 6 bosses. So you never know what boss you're going to get. In fact,
it's totally random.
Totally random. Same thing. We've got 5 different enemy sets. So every time you sit down to play Horde, it's going to be completely different than the last time. You'll be fighting the Lambit. You'll be fighting the Savage Locust. You'll fight the regular Locust. So it's going to be a different experience every time.
Awesome. And are we gaining experience from Horde mode as well?
Yeah, absolutely. That's Gears of War right now. Everything is about you play campaign, you play arcade, you play Beast, you play Horde, you play multiplayer. All feeds into your level. So when you reach 100, it's because you're a Gears player. You can get 100 just playing campaign if you want to.
And what about the different locations that we can actually be taking the Horde on?
Locations just like Gears 1 and Gears 2. Every multiplayer map is a Horde map, is a Beast map.
Compatible?
Yeah, absolutely.
Very cool. Any surprising moments in terms of, okay, we got 10 waves are coming, here comes a boss, in terms of how you got a sentry here, a laser barrier there, and how all the defenses play out with regards to the bosses?
Yeah, well, I mean, we have 5 different locations per map that kind of the start of a base, you have a command post. So once you turn on that command post, the fortifications appear, and then you can pick which ones you want to build. So and then every command post after that you have to pay for. So you have to find that strategic location. But you can actually start owning the map. As you build command posts and you sort of take over them, you just kind of limit where the enemy can spawn. So you can start to take over the map from them.
Can you ever win in this new Horde mode?
Well, you can beat wave 50, but it's going to take a lot of work, a lot of effort.
I bet. Far more than I'm capable of, that's for sure. Is there a release date for Gears yet? I mean, that's been announced, right?
What, the release date?
Yeah,
September 20th,
September
worldwide.
20th. Okay, good. And Horde mode from day 1, so we're all happy.
Horde mode day 1.
We got to get out. There's a special announcement, and I want to get it out really quick. A new weapon? This is a G4 exclusive.
Absolutely. We want to bring something new to E3 every time.
Appreciate it.
So we wanted to bring our Horde's kind of new specific weapon. So I have a special assistant I want to do to reveal the weapon to you.
Oh,
so
fantastic. Is this like an intern? Or?
Yeah, exactly. He works for me, brings me coffee.
Where's this assistant?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Guys,
in the country is in the house!
Lester Spade, the Coltrane, ladies and gentlemen. One more because I need it as a text message alert. There we go. All right. Lester Spade. I was glad bouncing over there, Lester, and I didn't know where you were. I had no idea. And then I saw the booth bays and got confused. And, saw that. Yeah, it was very easy for you to hide on our set. Were they your security right there?
That is security.
Okay, good.
That is security. Yeah.
What is this fantastic weapon that you've brought out here?
So this is the Butcher's Cleaver. So like in any when you played Horde, you can kill them all or drop a shield. So in Gears 3, Horde 2, when you kill a Butcher, you can pick up his cleaver and then you can just unleash the cleaver and start chopping up the locusts as you go. It's awesome fun.
I'll just keep it in my back pocket.
Yeah, exactly.
You just roll around that in case?
NECA is making these, so much like our Lancers, you'll actually be able to buy this in the store and have all kinds of TSA fun all your own.
Yeah, exactly. You don't keep it in your back pocket when you're flying anywhere, do you, Lester?
No.
That's a pat down you'll never forget.
I'll put it underneath the plane.
Is there we're out of time, but if there's an iconic phrase that people are constantly nagging it for on voicemails, what is it, Lester?
The cold train is in the house!
Sounds so much better in person. Lester, pleasure to meet you in the flesh, good buddy. Thank you so much for showing off the game. To get your first look at the campaign, go to g4tv.com/Gears of War. I'm afraid of that right now, so let's send it over to Candace and Morgan.
I'm afraid of that too. You think we're done yet? Not by a long shot. There's still more from E3 2011 on the way.
After the break, we're going to give you one last chance to win a console with your tweets. All that and more right after this.
G4's live coverage of E3 2011 is brought to you by GameFly, video game rentals delivered to your door. Tomorrow, E3 2011's biggest games hit the G4 stage, and we're giving you unprecedented access. The people that brought you the double-fisted duo of Doom and Quake are back with Rage, an explosive game changer that will blow you out of your seats. Then, get ready for some high-octane racing with our turbocharged look at Need for Speed: The Run. Plus, we get an exclusive look at Kingdoms of Amalur: Reckoning, an open-world RPG from master storytellers R.A. Salvatore and Todd McFarlane. And if you thought those games were explosive, wait till you see mech shooter Hawken demolish an entire metropolis. You don't want to miss this. All that, plus exclusive interviews, the latest trailers, and all the news as it breaks.
You guys never cease to amaze me.
E3 2011 is the biggest gaming event on the planet, and it's only on G4.
But you can still win a console, isn't that right, Kristen Adams?
That is so right, Kevin Pereira. And any minute we're gonna cross the 4.5 million tweet mark. I'm so excited about that. It will happen. And I want to point out Trap Echo right here. He says, my boss would fire me if he knew just how much of E3 on G4 I've watched while I'm supposed to be working, and it was totally worth it. So just for that, we're gonna hook you up, Trapped Echo, with a PlayStation 3. Keep those tweets coming with the hashtag E3 on G4. For complete rules, just go to g4tv.com/win. All right, back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Kristen.
Thanks, Kristen.
You guys, we saw a ton of games today, from Arkham City to Final Fantasy. Adam, pick a favorite, good sir.
Okay, I think it's just pointing out, Arkham City seems to have resonated with the world as it was trending worldwide on Twitter, so everyone knows that one's strong. I was going to point out All for One. It is so hard to do co-op that isn't like a shooter form. Right. And you just look at that, the way that the camera works, and the fact that it's fun and silly. It is a nice, fresh way to approach co-op.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'm going to have to say that I was very surprised by Fable Journey. I admit that I went into it thinking this was an on-rail shooter. I'm a huge Fable fan, and I was very disappointed. And then Peter Molyneux came. Okay, I got suckered into Peter Molyneux. That's fine. But he came and he said it's not on rails. You can wander the world freely. So that is really exciting, and I'm looking forward to learning more about that.
My favorite was Connect Sports Season 2.
Yes. Oh, yeah?
Because I learned that I can play football.
Yes. And you got a touchdown.
I got a touchdown.
Did you try to spike the virtual football that didn't even exist?
No.
Oh, okay. Someone's saying Candace is trying to spike the ball. I was like, that's awesome.
If I was, I didn't realize.
If I had to pick one, it was actually SSX, which was a huge surprise for me. The real-world environments, the topographical data, the NASA maps, the ability to pull off such sweet moves. Like, I loved old SSX. I'm excited for the new one. It looks amazing.
All right, well, that's it for today's coverage of E3 2011. Tomorrow we'll be back with even more from the floor at the same time, 6 p.m. Eastern.
Now that is more news, more hands-on demos, and more chances to win free gaming consoles. I have a feeling
Did they see the sass?
But the question is, there's a big question. Will we have more Chris Hardwick?
More Chris Hardwick?
I don't know.
By the way, my favorite game was Toe Jam and Earl for the Sega Genesis.
Good is that
Right?
game?
It's gonna look good. No need to wait, you guys. You can see a brand new edition of Web Soup E3 edition starting right now.
What?
It's so good to have more of you. What?
I think it's starting in like 30
In
seconds.
30 seconds, you guys. You just have to stand here and just touch each other in weird ways. We can dance around.
Why can't we talk about games? Why do we have to touch each other in weird ways?
Whatever you guys want. Chess, bumping.
We don't.
It makes you appreciate things.
You like Toe Jam and Earl, but what else did you see that you liked today?
Spider-Man Edge of Time looks awesome.
Nice.
It looks awesome. So I'm looking forward to that in the fall as well.
The camera angles got really extreme for that. I'm not sure. Clearly the audience no longer cares what we're saying.
Why would they?
They don't care anymore. All right. Good night, everybody.
What was your favorite part of E3?
I like it.